Re hello. Um, we're gonna do some abortion memes tonight. Chatting with Kane again about killing babies. That's the audio bitrate. What is this? It's fucking means you're quiet. Um, my sound working? Damn it. Oh, okay. That's great. My sound is not working. Is yes. Three. Uh, five. Three. Oh, why my sound is not. Five. Three. Okay, I'm getting no sound at all, right? Oh, that's working. My working's working. Oh, whatever. Okay, I don't know what the fuck. My working's working. Oh, whatever. Okay, shut up. Old people. Old people rap.
Chin wagging a boozer, quick cat and a moolah. Boy talk to me nicely or it's click bang with a Ruger. Neck five with the Jacksons, straight face when I back him. And if he's talking figures, then man, I'm deaf as a action. 2 glass of the golden star, who mark on me order? Tom Ford, a man at my wrist, you get hit with a whiff when I'm walking. Strip tag, heck with get laid, back to Nina. If I goddamn toasted jams, I jump out.
I love this guy.
The geezer. Got slapped with a sentence, went down, came back with a vengeance, and now I'm bringing that smoke in a silk cut suit while I'm puffing on a Benson wood pound.
Right,
Happening, ladies.
fucking guy.
The prize while I hold the door. And if I put it up, pay the paper, leave a scar on his face like Voldemort. BV's on my necklace shining, 10 large and a watch and chain. More gin than a herbal glass, robot to the finest strain. Get high with her while she's naked, heads up at a pool in Spain. Come jump on a jumbo jet, I take you mile high while I pop champagne. Load in the clip then spray, and a man lit like Christmas Day. Drop down and I made him pray, you know what I mean, in a Christian way. Put jewels in a Jesus pendant, Lord forgive me if I strike him down. And if a man try to take the stash, he gets wrapped like packs of the white and brown. Kitchen king with a bus and pans, trap line pings and I drop that ran. Whip that work like a Boston cream, it's time to make dough, no dunking man. Got mad to feed, bricks to the work and a pan of weed. Chef kiss when I serve him up, I know Golden Ramsay be proud of me. Clean as a cut, TCP, eyes on a block, CCTV. And a shit packs like DPD, so the boys on the beat.
Please tell me when this is copyrighted. Oh, it's not copyrighted. It is fucked. Allow. 4,000 seconds. Output. And virtual camera. And our virtual camera. And bam. We are fucking in. Garugamesh. Wow, now look, it's late, I guess.
My bad.
No, you're good.
Hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So I was thinking, like, I'll probably put you down in the basement for a second. I'm gonna say a couple things just about the show I'm gonna do, and then I'll bring you back up. And you said you want me to start, so I can do like 5 minutes. I got something I want to say, and then we can just take it from there. You can have like a 5 minute rebuttal if you want, or we can just go right into the back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
However you want to do it.
For sure.
Your
Yeah.
volume's pretty low.
Is it? Okay.
Let me see. Oh, wait, never mind. I got mine down. It's me.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. So, yeah, I need like 2 or 3 minutes. That'll be ready.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm live, so people can hear you on my thing. So I guess don't
That's
say any racial slurs like we normally do when we chat in private.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I have to keep that on the DL.
Right.
But what's up, Jax fans? Nice to meet you. Glad you're tuning in for your boy to get crushed tonight.
Destroyed.
Nah, it ain't really a debate. It's more like conversation, like we do. But give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it, bud. Now Quietly play idle. Actually, I'm gonna mute there. Yeah, I feel like maybe a bad idea to have that just out. Man, hiding this fucking side chat is rough. But I will put the notes up on the screen just for fun. Fuck Christ. How does that? I just need to commit to making my camera bigger or something. That good? Yep. And okay. Oh, on Twitch too. I ain't know that. Yeah, basically the cheat code is life first personhood. Not everything live is worth protecting. You are your brain. Arguable for sure, but you know, get into that one. And yeah, the pragmatic position of any sexually active woman.
Did you catch the show last night?
No, I was on like 2 panels last night. I've been on a bender since the election.
Oh, I bet. So Mike Theron showed back up on my show after saying he would never come on my show again.
Oh damn.
He just popped up on the panel. He ended up rage quitting because I wouldn't agree with him that he's 6'3". It was hilarious. Yeah, he was totally all bent out of shape because I wouldn't say, yeah, you're 6'3".
That's amazing. What's he like or whatever? Him giving.
That's pretty funny.
Right. I was gonna ask if he.
And he was
substantiated it at all, but
he was saying, huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying he was saying that I brought you up because he was saying that people with hyperactive minds are geniuses. So I said, what about Jack? You think he's a genius? He's like, no, he's not. I said, why not? He's got a super hyperactive mind. He said, because he's an asshole. Yeah. Like, okay, nice logic there, bro.
Right. Yeah, no, this like obsession with the like civility politics just drives me yonkers. It's so fucking so sleep cinny.
Alright, I'm almost ready. I just need a couple more minutes. Let's see what the viewers look. We got 3 people waiting.
Nice.
Just start it up.
Ooh. Yeah, how's your post-election memes been going?
I haven't even looked at anything. I watched some Spurgeon videos last night of people crying over the results, but I've been so busy with work and I slept all day today. I just haven't really had time to look into much yet.
Gotcha.
All right, but if you're ready, I'm gonna start it up.
Yeah, go for it, bud. Mine's stupid. How the fuck do you? I don't understand this fucking game.
What's up, all? The topic of discussion today is abortion and when should personhood begin. We've got Dr. Darko down in the basement. He's going to come up and we're going to hash it out, see where things stand. What's up, Proby? How goes it today? Before I start, I just want to say that I'm sure a lot of feminist type mindsets are out there rolling their eyes right now. Like, oh, here we go again. Two men discussing women's bodies. But, I think it is, as a conscious human being, I don't think there's any topic that any person doesn't have the right to discuss. I don't think you have to have certain characteristics to think on a subject. What's up, Angel? How you doing today? Susie, how you doing? It's been a while, my friend. Haven't talked to you in a long time. So yeah, I think there's no topic that's off the table for discussion, just because of your innate characteristics. So I don't put much stock into that, especially when we're talking about the future of the human race, reproduction, a sustainable population. So yeah, I don't think that that's something that we don't have a right to discuss. And I like talking to Jack because he makes me think. He makes me consider things from different points of view that I haven't really thought about. Uh, he can really press you to expand your mental capacity. So I appreciate that about Jack. I don't agree with all of his views. Uh, there's a couple people around here like that with like a. I guess I don't agree with them politically as far as they have like a socialist, communist type of mindset. I'm not saying that's where Jack's coming from, but people like Denison, not lots. They really make me. They really push the boundaries. So I appreciate that. So I guess what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring Jack up. We're gonna hash this subject out for a while, see where it goes. Once we slow down and basically exhausted, I don't know, half hour, whatever, I'll open up the panel, let other people come up, say what they would like to say about the subject. So without further ado, Jack, how you doing today?
Yo, pretty all right. Just put in like my fourth 50-hour week in a row. I'm fucking tired.
Oh yeah, let me say go Trump.
Yeah, fuck you.
Number 47 in the house.
Yeah, it was rigged.
47 back in the house.
It was rigged. It was rigged.
rigged. There we go.
I've been reading. I think I've been reading this thing called the Eastman Memo, and I think Democrats might actually still have a path to victory.
Really? So they're not giving up, huh? They're going to challenge the election. That kind of sounds like election interference.
Oh, sounds like not what we're discussing
what,
tonight.
Were they working on fake?
Oh no, is this this guy?
Electorates or something?
I mean, it's all kosher, right? Didn't someone else do it at some point?
Yeah. I guess when it comes to politics, you get away with what you can get away with. But yeah, tonight we're talking about abortion. When does personhood begin? All that. So I was thinking, Jack wants me to start. He wants me to put forth an argument. So I guess I'll take 5 minutes to lay out my position. And unless Jack has anything else to say, I'll go ahead and get to it.
Oh man, go for it.
All right. So my position is that a fetus is a life. It is alive, no matter what language you want to use to desensitize yourself from the fact. A fetus is a living human being in the earliest stages of development. Just like if you were trying to conserve frogs, you wouldn't say that it's okay to kill tadpoles. Tadpoles are an intermediate stage into becoming a frog, just like a fetus is an intermediate stage into becoming a human being, a full-grown human, adult human being. So I don't put any stock in that because once the egg is fertilized, mitosis begins. The egg splits into two halves. Then within the first hour, then within the first 4 hours, the second round of mitosis begins. And that's where the magic happens. During the second round of mitosis, when the two split into four, brand new DNA is created. a combination of the mother and the father, never before seen on earth, never to be seen again. And when people always say it's a clump of cells, it's a clump of cells. Yeah, it is. So what? So are you, so are we. The key point that they're missing here when they say it's a clump of cells is the genetic data that is encoded into those cells. The genetic data is unique, brand new, never seen before. That's what exists. It's only the time period that it has existed. So as a society, I think we have a duty, especially the strongest of society has a duty to protect the most vulnerable. And a fetus is a human being in its most vulnerable state that it will ever be in. And I also want to mention that I'm not completely against abortion. I do have what I think is a sensible compromise that's based on actual scientific data and it's not arbitrary. Before I lay that out, I want to say that the majority, I'm against the way abortion is practiced as it is today, which it's mostly used as a contraceptive device. Um, the last polling data that I saw from Pew, who is one of the leading authorities, or no, it was from it was either Pew or what is it, Gutenmacher? I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, it was one of these polling services. Then it came out to be about 97% of abortions basically boiled down to convenience. It's not the right time in my life. I can't afford it. You know, all of these fears and excuses, when only about 3% come down to actual grape cases or uh, problems with the pregnancy that could lead to the termination of the mother. Now, I just want to go ahead and say that in every case, no matter what, I agree that the mother's life should take precedence over over the baby's life. So anytime, I just want to make this perfectly clear, anytime the mother's life is in danger, her life should take precedence. But like I said, it's a very small number. I would be surprised if it's more than 3%. And I also want to touch on the way that this desensitizing language has been created around abortion to trick young women into not realizing the full scope of what it is that they're doing. Because they think it's just a clump of cells. They don't really understand that a baby is fully formed pretty early in development, and while it is small, it's still a fully formed human being. And once it happens, I think it can have a great psychological effect on women, and you know they're completely unprepared for it because they don't get the counseling and everything that they need, and they're tricked. They call it reproductive rights, or women's not you. Every woman has the right to reproduce, so that in and of itself is deceptive, and they call it a woman's health issue. Well, you're healthier unless there's a complication, you're gonna be much healthier if you don't have an abortion. The, uh, the abortion itself is dangerous and has led to, death in several instances. So, what was that last part I was gonna mention? What'd I say I was gonna touch on?
Uh,
It's for convenience, deceptive language.
Sensitizing.
There was one other thing I wanted to mention, but it's not coming to me right now. Um So yeah, if you wanna respond to any of that, go for it.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I guess I don't necessarily strongly disagree with any of that. I guess I just kind of disagree where we draw that line.
Wait, before you if you don't mind, I do
Go
remember
for
the
it.
last thing I was gonna say. I just wanna bring forth the compromise that I have.
Mhm.
I think that a decent compromise, since it is a life, I don't think that can be denied by any thinking rational human being. It is a life, a human life in the earliest stages of development. But 75% of the 75% of pregnancies, the an actual fertilized egg fails to attach to the uterine wall. and gets naturally flushed out by around 10 weeks. So at around 10 weeks, 75% of the time, fertilized eggs fail to attach to the uterine wall and get flushed out naturally. So I believe that a good compromise that's actually based on science would be a 10-week abortion ban. After 10 weeks, no abortions. Because I think that would that falls in line with the natural process of uh, reproduction.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that compromise. I guess, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of this stuff is going to end up being drawing an arbitrary line. But yeah, I mean, I would say that yeah, it's not necessarily human life that's worth protecting. It's personhood that's worth protecting. I'm sure we'll get into this, but I feel like there's a lot of examples that I could give you of, a human that is quote unquote alive that, like, you wouldn't deem worthy of moral consideration, or like worth spending resources to keep alive. So yeah, I don't think just being alive, having a metabolism, responding to the stimulus is the end all be all for, whether or not you should be, treated ethically, I guess.
I do, unless you have committed morally reprehensible acts repeatedly,
For sure. Well, I mean, like,
and a fetus hasn't. So
yeah. But I guess so. Like, obviously, if someone came into a hospital with, like, like a wound, we would agree that, we should take care of that person and, like, do our best to help them, right? Yeah, and if someone came in, like, having a heart attack, like their heart is stopped, like, we should also probably do what we can to save that person. But if we have someone who comes in whose heart is still beating, somehow their lungs are still breathing, but they're, like, decapitated, do you think we should spend the resources to, like, keep that person alive?
if somebody is decapitated,
Yeah.
so they don't have a head,
Yeah.
but
But
their
somehow
heart is
there's
still beating.
yeah, somehow everything else is kind of working, like they obviously need to, like, like, cauterize the wound at their neck, at the very least. But
Yeah, but there's no thought.
yeah.
They're
Yeah, so what I would argue is that until about, like, the like 20 to 24 week mark, like, there is no thought in the fetus, and that is what I would consider, like, a person, is the capacity to deploy a conscious experience. Like, if someone's in a hospital and they have a thing and their brain leaks out of their ears, like, I think we would both agree that, like, yeah, that, like, that person doesn't have a consciousness anymore, like, are incapable of, like, being part of society, and they are, for all intents and purposes, like, dead. Like, we can keep them alive artificially with machines and shit, but, like, at the end of the day, like, that person is gone.
So are you saying that a brainwave is not measured in a fetus until 24 weeks?
Well, it's not just about, like, a brainwave, because, like, again, like brain death, there's several stages of brain death. But I mean, the parts that, people think
Okay,
need to exist.
this says a fetus can begin emitting brainwaves as early as 6 weeks.
Sure, but yeah, it's not brainwaves that I'm concerned with. It is the parts of the brain that need to communicate in order to
What's up,
deploy
B-Man? How
a
you
conscious
doing?
experience.
Yeah, but I don't think that applies in the case of a fetus, because if they are permitted the time to grow, they will exhibit that. Like I said, it goes into the tadpole becoming a frog. A tadpole can't jump around like a frog,
Yeah,
but
but a tadpole is not
will
a frog,
with
though,
enough.
right?
It is. It's not a frog because we call it something else, because it's a different stage of a frog.
Yeah, well, I
It
mean,
is a
but
frog,
it's
yeah.
it's a difference in kind. Like it, a fetus developing into,
No, it's the
like,
same kind.
well, no, I mean, like, if I saw a frog and was like, wow, look at that tadpole, you would be confused, because that's not what that word means, right?
in the same way you would be confused if you said, "Look at that person," and it was a baby, but it's still the same species, and the only difference is the amount of time that it has been allowed to grow.
Well, yeah, because it's something different, right? Like, I mean, I could point
Right.
to a corpse and be like, "That's a human thing," you know. There's still
It
some.
was a human thing.
Well, sure, but like when does it stop being a human thing then? Like if it starts like once its genetic code is present there, like does all of its DNA have to dissolve away into the ground for it to truly be dead?
It's truly dead when respiration and brain function cease to exist. But I
Uh,
mean, even when it's a corpse rotting in the ground, it's still human.
yeah, 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 and that's what I'm saying is like it's still human. Like there still might be some lingering activity going on, but it's not a person
Susie,
anymore.
Susie, I'm gonna open up the panel later on once we hash it out a little bit, and you're welcome to come up and speak.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I see your arguments being made already. That'll be fun. But yeah, I don't know. So personally, I like symmetry of like like I would consider a person dead like once brain activity is no longer like there or present or viable. Um, and so
But can't brain activity come back? I've heard of people being in comas with zero brain activity for years, and then something happens. I don't know what it is, but
yeah,
it just kicks in and restarts.
right, and yeah, and there's obviously like a gray area there of but someone who's in a coma, like they already demonstrated the capacity to deploy a conscious experience, right? For like the same reason, like I don't think it's okay to just like murder someone who's sleeping. Like there's a continuum of consciousness there that's like expected to resume, without completely, like without that person completely changing forms. Because I would say
Well,
that
also,
like at fertilization like there is no capacity like I can't have a conversation with that like there are no brain waves there and so like I wouldn't call that a person and like
a fetus doesn't change form into a human; it just grows. And also, the also you said expected consciousness. The expected consciousness is there with the fetus as well. It will have a consciousness.
well
It just has
it
to
will
grow a little more.
develop the capacity to have consciousness, right? Like it doesn't have the capacity to have consciousness until about the 20-week mark.
No, it has the capacity already. The capacity for consciousness is encoded in the DNA.
Is there a difference between blueprints for a building and a building?
That's not the same as DNA and human
I
expression.
mean, it's not
I mean,
an exact
you're
one-to-one
you're kind of making
comparison,
it.
but I am
It's
making
not
a
a good
comparison, yeah.
comparison because blueprints don't turn into a building.
Well, sure. Okay, so
Blueprints are a
blueprints in a pile of
schematic.
building materials, like like if I'm walking down the road and I see a construction site and there's a bunch of beams and bricks, and I go push over those beams and bricks, like have I destroyed a building?
What?
So if there's a construction site nearby, like
Yeah.
near my house, and I'm walking by it, and they have all the materials there, all the cement and the bricks and the whatever, and I just go like knock all that stuff over and destroy it. Have I destroyed a building?
Yeah, you destroyed a building that was in the earliest stages of construction.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. There's a maybe a fundamental disagreement there, but yeah, I don't know. I would say that there's a big distinction between like like some like the parts of something and like the capacity and like plans for something and a design for something and the thing itself. Like I
Okay, so
if I
you
had stomped on an acorn, like I didn't cut down a tree. Like a seed is not a tree,
but a seed contains everything within it to become a tree.
but it's not a tree. That's why it's a seed.
Right. The only variable here is time. Given enough time and the correct conditions, it will become a tree.
Yeah, but it's still
And
not a tree.
with abortion, the only reason the fetus is not a human is because we don't give it enough time to become a human.
Or well, whatever. Not I'm not not trying to play semantic games here, but like I mean, I would concede obviously that a fetus is a human and like it
Okay.
is alive. I just wouldn't consider it a person yet. Like just a whatever, just for clarity.
So what's required for personhood in your opinion? So
Um,
you do believe that a fetus is alive, but you don't consider it a person because why?
because it doesn't have the capacity to deploy a human consciousness. Um,
Will it?
eventually, like once it develops more and grows the parts to do so, yes, but that's not the same thing. Like,
So
um,
you think it's okay to deny a fetus growth to become a person
yeah,
that's already been created?
yeah. Well, like up until like the 20 to 24 week mark, when like the parts of the brain are there that can communicate and have the capacity to deploy a human conscious experience.
Okay, so what's the difference between an 18-week-old baby or fetus and a 28-week-old fetus as far as its conscious ability?
It has the parts of the brain that communicate to give rise to the conscious experience. Um,
And
I
what
don't
does
know.
that do? How does it express itself?
I don't, or I'm not sure what you're asking, or I guess.
How does the consciousness of a 30-week-old baby express itself? Why is that a determining factor for if it should be unalived?
Oh,
What does it do in actual reality?
I mean, like I think you're like, uh, you ought not unjustly kill something that like has those parts. And
I know you didn't just bring an odd argument. No way did you bring an
well, I
odd
mean, we're
argument.
having a discussion about morals here, right? Like, I mean, these are all ought statements. Like, you think that we ought not abort, you know, fetuses,
I'm
and
just saying you just seem to be so against ought statements usually, but all of a sudden we're like, "Oh, you ought now?"
or I mean, this is a normative conversation, so it's just full of oughts.
Okay.
Or I guess, yeah, I don't know. Um,
Normative conversation, huh?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we're
You don't like
talking
those,
about.
do you?
I mean, they're okay. I I'm less of a fan of them because there's less of a hard answer. I'm what's known as like a moral anti-realist. So like I don't think we have an organ that is capable of sensing like moral data, or like I don't think that moral facts exist. So yeah, I don't know. It's
So we
just
we don't have a morality bone.
yeah, that's a way to say it, yeah.
Okay, so I'm still kind of confused on this part where you're saying that because a fetus has the hardware to produce a conscious field, that makes them worthy of preserving when not having. I don't see why that is your basis for if it should be terminated or not. I mean, because if it's still in the mother's womb, it can't speak, it can't express these conscious thoughts or whatever it is you think is going on in a week old fetus. There's no expression of it. So why is that the determining
Well,
factor?
I don't think it needs to be expressible because that gets into some hairy areas of like developmentally challenged people, and like we have to start, like I
Well,
it,
let's just take all the genetic defects and all that. Let's just set all that aside and let's just
for sure.
focus on normal human or normal healthy fetuses.
But yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like like fetuses start learning stuff like in the womb. Like I think within like 3 or 4 weeks, they can like a newborn can detect a difference in like its like native like home language, a foreign language, and gibberish. I'd have to find that study, but yeah, I mean, the parts of the brain are there. They are processing information. They are learning, and yeah, and I think the human conscious experience is the thing that is like, sacred and worth protecting.
Okay, well, I just looked it up and it said that a fetus can start producing a brain activity within 6 weeks. So why don't you set that as your limit?
Because it's not brain
Since that's
activity.
your argument.
Yeah, well, because it's not brain activity. It's like the human conscious experience. Like, I mean, like there are people in a coma, or there are people in comas, or people who have experienced like partial brain death who have some brain activity, but they're like they're never gonna wake up. Uh,
So you think babies at 24 weeks are conscious, like looking around, like understanding shit? What's the difference? I don't
yeah,
understand
yeah.
what the
Or I mean,
difference
they
is
have
between that and brain activity.
for sure. So they have the capacity to deploy a conscious experience. And okay, so
A fetus.
yeah, yeah, at about somewhere between 20 and 24 weeks, people develop at different rates. But yeah, like they're starting to, um, yeah. So there's an issue here. There's this thing called the hard problem of consciousness. Are you familiar with this at all?
Yeah, I've looked into that a lot.
For sure. Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead
So
and
like,
explain it though. Go ahead and explain it.
yeah, yeah. It's just like like the consciousness is not like a thing that we can like super clearly define with like empirical data. It's an emergent property from several pieces of the brain. I might be mixing this up with the soft
No,
problem.
that's right.
Um, but yeah, like so yeah, we can't quite empirically demonstrate like that consciousness is actually there or like what it is, but I don't know. As a
Well,
sure, very good.
I think there's a good chance that we might be receiving consciousness, that we don't actually produce consciousness, but we receive it. But that's a totally different conversation.
For sure. Yeah, yeah.
I'm still not clear on how having brain activity, how you can know that a 6 or 8 week fetus having brain activity is any different type of brain activity at 24 weeks. What have you seen to make you think that's a different phenomenon taking place?
Uh, just some very bare bones like neurochemistry. I hate neurochemistry, to be very honest with you. I think it's made up and bullshit, mostly because I don't understand it, and so anything I don't understand is silly. Obviously.
Well, I can see that the synapses and the axioms and all that, they could be more developed and they could allow a greater uh, electrochemical transfer to take place once they're more developed. But the point still stands that it will develop if left to its own normal devices and not terminated. So I ask you why they shouldn't be protected just because they haven't had enough time to do what they will naturally do,
Yeah,
which is become conscious.
yeah. Well, so yeah. Is that I think there's a pretty distinct like difference in kind. Like it's not like yeah, I don't know. Like it has to develop into something else. Like transformations have to occur.
No,
Um,
it grows. It's not turning into something else. It's a human and it will stay a human.
but yeah, I
It's
mean, it's
not
not
like
turning into a different species or anything, but like,
right. It's just growing.
well, it's not.
Everything that it will become is already contained within its genetic code at the moment of conception.
Well, no, the designs for it, like the instructions and the code is contained. Yes,
But
but
it's
like,
more than it's more than the instructions. It's the actual physical code. It's like if you're thinking of it like a computer when it's more like a program. The code is contained within the program, just like a hard drive is contained within a computer. It's part of the same thing. It just grows and expresses itself to its full fruition.
yeah, sure.
It's not separate, like you're saying blueprints in a building. Those are two different things completely. A blueprint is not a building,
Well,
but
yeah, but
the
DNA is not a
genetic
person.
code, it is part of your person.
Sure, but it's not. It's not
Blueprints are
sufficient.
not part of a blueprints are not part of a person. DNA is part of a person.
Sure, but like, it's not like like if I had like if we hung out and I stole some of your skin cells, which contain a full set of your DNA, I wouldn't call that a person.
No, I wouldn't either.
for sure. Yeah,
But that's not the point. But I would call the DNA within you part of your person.
yeah, but it's not sufficient to like it's not like, when fertilization happens, like, like when it's 4 cells big, there's like one of those cells is a little like, the world's tiniest little heart, and one of those cells is the world's tiniest little brain, and one's like a liver, and like, like that's not
I don't see why that matters. Why does that matter?
because it's a difference in kind from like what it will become. It like in the same way that a tadpole is not a frog, that materials for building is not a building, that a seed is not a tree. Like we have different names for all of these things because they're not the same thing. They can be part of the same species,
the
and
same
they
thing.
can
It's
like
not a
like be
different
connected. In theory, to like, oh well, like if I do this, and that with this, then it will transform into something else. But like until that process happens, like like until you plant a seed and let it grow into a tree, a seed is not a tree.
So a tadpole is the larval stage of a frog. So it- it's a young frog. It's the larval stage. So it's the same species. You're calling it the same kind. Uh that's what religious people call things, kinds. That's not a scientific term. And you're parroting like Ken Ham and shit when you're saying kinds.
Yeah, sorry. Listen, I've
So
been
I don't
listening
quite get
to a
that.
lot of younger stuff recently, so like
Uh-huh.
I've just heard that phrase a lot, and so yeah, it's
Mhm.
just stuck in my head. Uh, but yeah,
Ken
but like
Zarko over here.
right. You know what? I live near-ish to his museum, and I
Nice.
unironically might go see the Ark, like because it just sounds like a
I would.
a
I mean,
fun
I
thing to
would go
do,
check it out
right?
just to
Yeah,
check it out, even if I didn't believe. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, I think it's funny to act like I do, but but I don't quite subscribe to that idea. Um,
So a tadpole will become a frog if it's left to grow long enough.
Sure, but is a tadpole a frog?
It is a young frog, yeah. I mean, we classify them differently because that's what we do. We classify shit,
Yeah.
and they look different. But all it is a tadpole is just a frog that's not old yet. I mean, once it gets older, it will become a frog just like a fetus will become a person.
Um, I guess,
So I don't see
okay. Or sorry, this is gonna seem unrelated. What's your stance on euthanasia? Do you like for it again? I don't know if
um yeah, that's a
the spicy one. I know.
yeah, what's up, Shameless? How you doing this evening? Um I'm not for the state having the power of euthanasia.
No, but I mean, like
That's what
someone,
gives me pause.
right, or I mean, so like someone is just like they're 80 some years old. They just got diagnosed with some crazy type of cancer that we don't even have experimental treatments for, and like they're just gonna have a painful existence until they suffer and die, and like instead like let's do something else, or and instead like they want to choose to you know not go out that way. Like would you be okay with that person doing that? I guess.
I'll just say that I'm not against a person who is in a state of extreme suffering making the conscious decision to opt out.
For sure.
But what
So
gives me pause is giving the state the power to make those determinations. So if it has to be a practice, I can't say I'm for it because I think it would be abused
yeah. I
eventually.
mean,
Or
I more mean just like a baseline, like philosophical, like like are you
philosophically, yes, I think a person should have the right to opt out if they can't take the pain they're in. Although extreme pain often leads to extreme growth.
for sure.
But if you're talking about someone who's 90 years old, I don't think there's a lot of room left for growth. So in those cases, yeah, I don't see a problem with it
Okay,
as long as
so
the state's not involved.
if I find a 6-year-old, who has some genetic marker like for that same thing, that same flavor of cancer we were just talking about with the 80-year-old,
Yeah.
And they're not going to get it for like 40 more years, but they definitely will, like they're going to develop, into that, like, can they opt out early?
No, I don't agree with that
Why not?
because they still have 40 years of growth. Who knows what they could accomplish in those 40 years? They could leave a mark on the world like Einstein did or something. So no, I don't. That ties exactly into what I was talking about how suffering often leads to great deeds and growth of character and everything. So no, I don't agree with that.
Sure. Well, you heard it here first. Kane is pro suffering. Um, I don't know. I don't know. We've run into a fundamental issue here, and I guess I don't know how to get over it. Of like a seed is not a tree, and like I would consider seed and tree, like even though they are connected in that, like, with time and nutrients and actions, one can become the other. Um, they're not the same thing. And I don't. Yeah, I guess I'm not quite sure how to reconcile that.
Yeah, I guess I don't see a difference. I mean, other than the way it looks, I don't see a difference in a tadpole and a frog.
Yeah,
They look different, but it's still the same being. It just changes throughout its life. It's still the same organism.
yeah, it's still the same organism, but it's going to develop different structures and like have like changes in their biology, where that are hardwired to happen, but they're not the
I
same.
mean, I can kind of almost get on board with what you're saying about brain activity and consciousness, but it's just that we're always finding that it starts much earlier than we thought. I mean, like I said, but now they're aware that there is brain activity at 6 weeks. So if we want to talk about a 6 week abortion ban, I would be okay with talking about that. Like I said, I would go up to 10 weeks because that's when 75% of the time the fertilized egg fails to attach to the to the uterine wall and gets flushed out naturally.
Sure. I mean, I
But
guess like
I don't see how you can justify anything past 10 weeks.
uh, yeah, I don't know. I guess 10 weeks is a little bit rough because of how they count how many weeks pregnant you are. Because it starts so like the 6 week ban policy is stupid. Because most women don't figure out they're pregnant until like 6 or 7 weeks. Because like when they count how many weeks pregnant you are, it starts at your last period. So like 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 a 28-day cycle, and then you miss one, and then it's like, oh, maybe it's late or something, and then like at that point you're already like 4 or 5 weeks in, and then yeah, there's just
You
really
should check anyway. You shouldn't be so blasé about it. I mean, we're talking about life here.
well, sure, but like they're could be just unaware, like like cycles fluctuate, right? And like I mean, so I guess
So
like
10 weeks is 2.5 months.
yeah, sure, and that's like 1 month from the last period to until the missed one, um, and then like a week or two of like wiggle room of like what's going on.
So
Yeah,
if they know they've been sexually active and they miss their period, I don't see what the problem is with getting a pregnancy test.
yeah. I mean, just the availability
Still
of
got
it, depending on where you are, I guess.
the availability of pregnancy tests. They're in every Walmart. They're in every CVS.
Sure.
They're in every Rite Aid. I mean,
I
it's
mean,
not hard to get a pregnancy test.
for sure. I mean, I've been to some places in America where the nearest Walmart is quite a hike away. Uh,
I'd be surprised if there's anywhere left in the United States where there's not a Walmart within 30 minutes, within a
um,
30-minute drive.
I mean, I've definitely been to a
But
place.
anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
you're
Anyway,
going to those. You're going to the outliers again, which is what you have a tendency to do.
I know
Most people live within driving distance of a Walmart. Come
for
on.
sure. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like a practical thing of like whatever. We can move on from the philosophical one, but yeah, I guess we're I don't know. I feel uh like unwanted pregnancies tend to lead to worse outcomes than like planned and wanted pregnancies, and like forcing women to carry them is not super great. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I feel like there's also some downstream effects of
Well, see,
any.
nobody's forcing a woman to get pregnant in the first place. So they made that choice to carry the baby.
Well, sure. So if a woman is say on birth control, like, and uses condoms and like gets pregnant anyway,
Yeah.
just from some crazy
It does
happenstance,
happen. Yeah,
um,
that happens.
for sure.
You can take every possible measure to make sure it doesn't happen, and it can still happen. Yeah, that is a fact, but that doesn't change the argument
uh,
that it is a life.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, again, I don't necessarily disagree with the life part, but I don't know. I guess I don't think it's
But they're
worthy
not
of.
a person.
Yeah, yeah.
So you agree they're alive, you just don't assign them personhood. Okay, so what about preborn personhood? Okay, what is personhood? First of all, explain personhood. Explain the concept of legal personhood.
Legal personhood.
Well, that's what we're talking about. When you say personhood, that's a legal definition.
No, I mean it's a moral definition of like, or I mean it's a distinction that I'm making for the purposes of this conversation. But yeah, like I'm talking about like a moral agent, um, like someone with a human conscious experience that is similar to mine, um, and yeah, yeah.
We have no idea what a 10-week-old fetus's conscious experience is,
Well, I would say that they don't have one, because they don't have the parts
but they
to.
have one at 24 weeks.
That's when the parts of the brain are there and the capacity is there. So to be safe, I would say that yeah, like you can cut it at like 18 or 20 weeks, and that would
Do you
be.
have the data that shows that the capacity is there at 24 weeks, but it's not there at 10 weeks?
Um, yeah, I can. I'd have to dig it
I
up.
would be interested in that. But like I said, I think it goes deeper than that. You're just talking about the cellular formation, what's had enough time to grow. I'm saying that the potentiality for consciousness is already contained in the DNA. So if given if given the time to express itself naturally, it will become what you're saying it's not. So I don't see how I need to think of a good example for this. I mean, I can't think of it right now, but I'm gonna have to work on that for future arguments.
Um,
Let me see. What is something? I'm just trying to think of something that needs time to become something else that I can use as an example. But I don't see why personhood is denied to someone who has the capacity to become consciousness.
because they don't like have the capacity in their current form. Like they have to grow different parts
It
and
is in their
develop.
current form. That's what I'm telling you.
Well,
It
no,
is
no,
in
like it
their
has the
current form. It's
instructions
in
to
the
do so.
DNA.
Well, yeah, yeah, but
Okay.
that's again like
And
you're saying the blueprints to a car is the same thing as a car. Like,
see, this is the problem. You think no, I'm not saying that at all because blueprints are a piece of paper that is completely separate from the car. DNA is protein codes that are already contained within the self. It's not something separate that sets outside of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Trust me, I'm a little familiar with the
Okay, well
that
then
one.
you know it is physically part of the body.
Yeah, sure. But like, I mean, I guess if I made a car that had the like, we had like a self-assembling car, that like you could just take the pieces of a car and put on the blueprints, and it could put itself together. then, uh, then yeah, I mean, like, I guess yeah. Again, it's a different category of stuff. Like it's um yeah, but yeah, or yeah. I guess like you're talking about the like potentiality like versus actual capacity, which is like different. Um, but yeah, this is I will definitely say this is a little bit outside of my wheelhouse. As I said, I'm not a brain guy. I'm a DNA guy, and a chemistry and math dude. So, but
A simple definition of consciousness is sensory awareness of the body, the self, and the world. The fetus may be aware of the body, for example, by perceiving pain. And that reminds me, I saw years ago, I saw an abortion video. It was an actual abortion video. I think it was around 16 to 20 weeks, if I remember correctly. And what's up, Mr. B? How you doing this evening? And what I found fascinating about this video was the very first thing that they did was uh shit, I can't think of the oh, okay. The very first thing they did was they used a long needle to pierce the placenta and the water started leaking out. And as soon as that happened, the baby reacted. It didn't touch the baby or anything, but as soon as its environment was changed, it was immediately aware of what was happening.
well, yeah,
I
but like,
consider that conscious. I consider that consciousness.
I mean, I guess, are you vegan?
What?
Are you vegan? Like, I don't know, like
Ve-
nematodes can do that.
Well, they're conscious then
Okay,
of their environment.
for sure. Or, I mean, I guess, do you think all, or I don't know, you're not a vegan then? Or I guess, is it specifically human life that you're concerned with protecting?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Human life precedes all other life, in my opinion.
But I guess, so why are you okay with the 75% of the time, when like post fertilization, the person miscarries? Um, like why like, because that's, more of that situation happens by a gratuitous amount than abortions happen. But like, why are you okay with it up and, like, or why
Because
wouldn't you
that's
want to try to stop like this process, in order to save like this life?
because it's unnatural. That is the natural way it happens. And I think when you interfere with a natural process, too many unforeseen uh disasters can occur.
I mean, are
Um
you okay with birth control or hormonal
yeah, I'm
birth control?
perfectly fine with birth control.
Yeah,
I don't like the pill because I think it has unintended consequences of messing with a woman's chemistry and can alter her brain function.
for sure. But
But
you don't think that it's murder?
no, I don't think it's murder. No,
I guess, why not?
because no egg is being fertilized.
Or I mean, for some birth controls, right? Like, there are other birth controls that can work either by, or some.
Like the morning after pill or something.
Yeah, that one can work in two different ways. Like it can, like, sometimes it can halt ovulation, and sometimes it can prevent implantation.
Okay, with contraceptives, there's a distinction that needs to be made between two types. There's a contraceptive that stops the egg from being fertilized in some form or fashion, and then there's a second type of contraceptive that disposes of the fertilized egg in some type of way. That distinction needs to be made. I wholeheartedly agree with the first type. Just completely stopping the egg from being fertilized, I see nothing wrong with that. As far as the second type, um, there are some moral implications to consider, but while it is alive, like I said, I go back to what happens naturally in the world. 75% of the time, that 10-week-old fertilized eggs are flushed out naturally. So since people seem to be completely unwilling to give up their right to abort their offspring, in a reasonable world, I think using that, since it's not arbitrary, it's based on science, I think that would be a healthy compromise.
uh, yeah, no, I know how not self-aware most humans are, and like, yeah, I don't know. It seems reasonable to expect, most women to notice when they miss a period, but holy shit.
Mr. B, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it,
Yeah,
but my grandmother and my mom was on that, I believe, and it caused some things in them. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it gave my grandmother a problem with her what's the glands in your throat?
thyroid.
Your thyroid glands. Yeah, it gave her thyroid problems.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's thalidomide, or rather, one of the isomers of thalidomide, and that actually was never available in the U.S. Um, and it was for morning sickness, not for birth control.
Hey, Shameless, can you log on and highlight some comments if you don't mind?
Uh,
Um, so
yeah.
what's our fundamental disagreement here?
Yeah. Okay.
You
So I
you
guess
don't
like why? Okay. I feel like dudes jerking off would like also be murder because like given the right environment and conditions, like it has.
that's just ridiculous.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess saying that like a fertilized egg is the same thing as a like fully grown human is also
I didn't
ridiculous to
say it's
me.
the same thing. I said it's the same organism.
For sure. Or I guess I don't know. I feel like we keep, like the lines are being blurred between those things, but I'm like, oh no, like they're different things, and it's like, yeah, well, but one will become it if given the right time and
No,
conditions and
it is
actions.
it. It is it.
Okay.
It's just not big enough. It
Okay.
hasn't developed yet. So it's still the same organism. It's just in an earlier stage of development.
Yeah, so it's not, like in the same way that a sperm is not a zygote, uh, a zygote is not
And
a
it's
fetus.
exactly the same way that a child is not an adult.
Well, no, because like that is literally just like things getting bigger and some like other minor changes in biology. Like we're talking about a zygote, we're talking about like a single cell that like hasn't even differentiated yet into organs and brain structures or whatever the fuck. Like I that's like saying that like a seed is a tree, but just smaller.
A seed is a tree that hasn't grown yet.
Yeah, sure.
Once the seed grows, it will be a tree.
Sure. Well, I guess yeah. I
Like I said, okay, do you disagree that a fetus is the same organism as an adult?
um no, I don't disagree. They're both.
Okay. So tell me, okay, other than okay, so uh let's take a 10-week-old fetus. It already has all of its fingers, all of its toes. It's not going to grow any more limbs, it's not going to grow any more um organs. How is that not the same as a person, the same way a child is the same as is the only difference in becoming adult is that they haven't grown. What's the
Yeah.
difference there?
I don't know, lack of a thalamocortical complex.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, me either, but it's in the thing that I sent you, and seemed like a cool word to say.
Okay.
Uh,
So let me read this real quick. It says, I read the first part. The fetus may be aware of the body, for example, by perceiving pain. It reacts to touch, smell, and sound and shows facial expressions responding to external stimuli. However, these reactions are probably pre programmed and have a subcortical, non conscious origin. Furthermore, the fetus is almost continuously asleep and unconscious, partially due to endogenous endogenous sedation. Conversely, hold on, what's that mean?
endogenous means it's coming from the inside.
Okay. Uh, endogenous sedation. Conversely, the newborn infant can be awake, exhibit sensory awareness, and process memorized mental representations. What does that mean? Conversely, the newborn infant can be awake, exhibit sensory awareness, and process memorized mental representations. What is a memorized mental representation? Need to look into that. But
Yeah.
it's also able to differentiate between self and non-self, touch, express motions, and show signs of shared feelings. So that seems like some pretty conscious stuff going on there, especially the part about um, differentiate between self and non-self touch. I think that's a huge thing that you're going to have to get past because like I said with that 20-week-old fetus, as soon as its environment, as soon as the environment in the placenta was changed, it reacted to it. It was aware. It knew what was going on. It acted with panic, if you ask me. It started panicking.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I
But
don't know.
there's no way you could ever prove that. But
Yeah, well, like
that's how it
people
seems
that
to
are
me.
in, comas or that experience complete brain death, like they still have like reflexes, right? You can hit
They
their knee
would
with a
not
hammer.
react. They
They're-
would not react to a change in their environment.
Um, I mean, you can sometimes do stuff to them that'll make them react.
Only you're talking about reflexes. I'm talking about an actual an actual conscious reaction. Being aware of your environment and reacting to it is not the same as a doctor tapping your knee and producing a reflex action. This didn't seem to be reflexive. I mean, it was adapting, it was reacting to the environment. It hadn't been touched in any way. So
So yeah, I mean,
it wasn't a reflex
for
action.
sure. I guess I don't necessarily think that like reacting to your environment is like a good, I don't know. I have a cat. He reacts to the environment, and I think it'd be fine to eat him. I'm also a quarter Haitian, so that might be part of it. Uh, um, but yeah, I mean, so I guess like the last sentence of the abstract of that thing is, however, the thalamocortical connections are not fully established, which is why it can only reach a minimum level of consciousness. And this thalamocortical like complex is like uh, whatever is what's hypothesized to be a large driver in producing a conscious experience, and that is not present at 10 weeks. You might have neurons, and they might be firing, and you might be able to like detect chemical activity there, but I don't think that's the same as like these structures that develop around 20 to 24 weeks that give rise to consciousness.
So why is conscious thought the determining factor in this?
It's a symmetry argument. Like if someone's brain exploded but the rest of their body was still alive, like I wouldn't consider them a person either. Like once they stop being able to have a conscious experience, like they're for all intents and purposes like dead. Like that person is gone. Like their body might be alive and doing stuff, but like that person is dead. And so like since that's where I draw the line for when a person dies, it only makes sense to start personhood at when that begins. If that makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense. I see what you're saying. I just don't see that. I think there are other more important factors at play than just consciousness, such as the physical body of the fetus actually existing. It already exists. It's there. It's growing, and it will have this metric that you're measuring it on. If it's left to its natural progression, it will have that consciousness. So how do you justify uh denying it the time to develop that consciousness?
Because it's not a person. I mean, for the same reason, I think it's okay to.
It's a human organism
Yep.
in the earliest stages of development.
Yep.
So why should a human organism in the earliest stages of development be denied its natural right to become what it was conceived to be?
Yeah, because it's not developed enough for me to consider it
To care
worthy
about.
of that right. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess like it would be the same thing as like yeah, I think I pitched this question to you or uh a few days ago. Yeah, if I took your head and like off of your body and attached it to a robot, and then took a robot head and attached it to your body, um, everyone would agree. It's like, wow, look at that. That's super cool. Kane has a robot body, and this, robot thing is, you know, is has a human body. Because I would say that you are your brain. And yeah, like by that same logic, if when the brain stops working, like when you're no longer able to deploy that conscious experience, like you are, like that person is gone.
Well, there's also, I don't know if you are your brain or if you're your heart and your brain. I mean, there seems to be seems to be something going on with a communication between the heart and the brain, and also the heart forms before the brain in development. But the very first thing to form from a fetus is the anus. So we're all assholes. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, so I don't know if it's just like the formation of the brain is the one thing that makes you human. Um,
Well, sure. So like if we did a heart transplant on you, like we'd still call you Kane. If we did a liver transplant, we replaced pretty much any organ of yours. Like we would, like most people would 1000% say, that's still Kane. If we did a brain transplant on you, like, do you think most people would still consider you the same person?
no, no, I don't.
For sure. So that, maybe it's not all your brain, but there is something uh critical in there that makes you you. And so yeah, like like without those parts, you're I don't think that you're you.
So the other day you asked me a question if you the robot head thing, and I said that I would not consider um I would not consider a person with a human body and a robot head to be human anymore. But I would consider a human head with a robot body to be partially human with an extreme loss of humanity. So even though they still have their same conscious brain that is a human brain, they lack they lack they lack the internal sensory organs to detect the world around them in the same way they did when they had a human body. So that's why I believe there would be a loss of humanity. Even though they still have the same brain and all that stuff. They still have the same thoughts.
Sure. Yeah, and I think there's probably uh whatever weird philosophical conversation to have there. But yeah, I guess like where I draw my line is like the difference between 0% and any percent. Um, so yeah, I mean, like even if you put a human head in a robot body, like even if they're 99.999% less human, there's still there's still more than zero, which is my criteria.
So
Personally.
I think Shameless brings up a great point here, and I touched on it earlier. She said, "Well, there are people who have been brain dead for a long time and come out and they say that they were coherent the entire time. So maybe our form of measurement isn't good enough to really follow." I think that's a good point because people that have been brain dead for 10 years do wake up, and to us, they seem like they were completely unaware of the environment, just the way we might find that even without that, what'd you say that system was that we believe allows current
Thalamocortical complex.
yeah, so the thalamocortical complex might not be the only factor in consciousness. Maybe that's just what we think right now, but once our technology is better, we could come to realize that actually, as soon as that brain function started at 6 weeks, it was enough to produce conscious thoughts.
Yeah, and if
But
that
I still don't see why conscious thought is the determining factor here.
because I mean, because I think human consciousness is worth protecting, but not necessarily
But not
all.
human bodies.
Uh,
But human bodies, that's just garbage.
I mean, not necessarily like just garbage. But
Well,
yeah, I
that's
mean,
I mean, you're terminating it and throwing it away. That's what you do with garbage.
well, yeah, I mean, what we do with old people too.
Oh, that's a different topic.
Right.
But
But yeah,
yeah, I
I would
don't
say
see
that
why.
I feel like you said Shameless's point was a good point. But I feel like she's also appealing to outliers, which I know you love when I do as well. When it's like, oh, someone was brain dead for 10 years and then woke up and said they were totally with
That
it the
is an
whole time.
outlier.
Yeah, no, like
Definitely
that's
an
not
outlier.
how that happens most of the time. But yeah, but I
Yeah,
am
most
like,
most of the time, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But like, in the future, if we develop, better instruments or like a better, or a different working theory of how, like how consciousness works, and it turns out to be 6 weeks, then yeah, I would change my position to like, yeah, like 6 weeks. I have no problem admitting that. I'm not like hardcore pro-abortion, like just abort everything, all the time, all you want. I would also like less abortions to happen. Just in the interest of like safety, because there is that potential for being wrong. But yeah, I mean, like as it stands with the current research, as I understand it, that like 20 to 24 week mark is, where I consider, personhood to emerge from, uh, yeah, the development of the human brain.
So what do you think about my compromise of 75% of the time, around 10 weeks, a fertilized fetus is flushed out naturally. So making that the line. You just think it's not enough time for women to get their shit together? Two and a
Um,
half weeks?
yeah, I
That's
mean,
your
I
only
don't think
opposition to it?
well, that's part of it. It's also, I mean, it's also part of just not having the parts there, so for me to consider it worthy of moral consideration. And yeah, and I would have to double check the data on that, but I'm pretty sure like 90 some percent of the time when that happens, it's because of defects in the DNA, where like, it's being rejected from being implanted by the body because it
Well,
recognizes
no,
that
no,
like,
no. I don't think so at all. I think it has more to do with the spike proteins. Maybe they're not maybe they haven't formed enough, but it has to do with the spike proteins catching onto the they're like little hooks and they catch onto the uterine wall. So I don't think it's being rejected. It's just failing to attach.
yeah. So chromosomal abnormalities are a common cause of miscarriage, accounting for more than half of first trimester losses. There's a real paper on this. Whatever, fucking PBS, I guess. But yeah, like I like, like half of those like miscarriages that happen in the first 10 weeks are due to, because the chromosomes are fucked. Um, which I mean, I guess I feel like there's some downstream implications there of like, like, well, it's a natural process. Like your body rejects, zygotes with chromosomal abnormalities all the time. So why can't we just, like, can we abort every baby with Down syndrome because it shouldn't have been, because your body rejects it most of the time anyway, or
No, I don't agree with that. But Susie wants to know if you would allow an abortion at 26 weeks.
no? Yeah, no, my
Oh,
my line's
so
pretty.
that's too far.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, no, my line is pretty staunchly at 20, just because I don't think we have the tools to like uh to test, like whether those structures are actually there or not. So like, yeah, I mean, it happens somewhere in like whatever. There's a range of several different things, and some of them are 20 to 24, other ones are like 24 to 28. But yeah, I mean, in order to be internally consistent, I would say 20 weeks is a good cutoff for um leaning, towards the not doing murder.
So you do consider it murder.
I mean, after 20 weeks, yeah.
I also want to say that I understand a lot of women. This is one of the hardest decisions that they'll ever have to make. But I also want to say, at least what I hear a lot of women say, it's not a thing at all to them. I hear a lot of the now I don't know if they're being honest and truthful, but I do hear a lot of feminist type blue haired, red haired type of women say shit like, I can't wait to get pregnant again just so I can abort it, or I can't wait to abort my seventh baby, or this and that. It's either they just don't care, or they become so desensitized to it that it doesn't affect them anymore. But when people say it's one of the hardest decisions that a woman will ever have to make in their life, I agree. Yes, it is for some, but for some, it's not. They do it casually, and I think it's because of a lot of this language that they've created around abortion to desensitize from the reality of it.
I mean, I also think
Because,
it's.
like I said,
So go ahead.
I was just going to say because, like I said, if you wanna call it a seed or a tree, blueprints or a building, it's still the same organism. The only thing is that the organism grows over time. That's it. Fetus to child to adult human. It's all the same. What's up, Eyes Wide Shut? How you doing today?
Challenge accepted.
Glad you could make it.
Actually, my body, my choice. It's murder, and it's fine. All right, I'm sorry. Um,
So yeah, some women do it casually. So I just wanted to point out that it's not a huge thing to a lot of women, at least what they say. They could be lying. I don't know. But it seems to me that if to terminate a life that you conceived, your own offspring, that even if you don't think it has an effect on you, I find it hard to believe that it has zero effect on you.
but yeah, well, I would say. I mean, this is kind of whatever, more outskirts of this, but like, I have a family member who was trying to get pregnant. Had an ectopic pregnancy that they like had to get terminated because that'll kill you. And yeah, but they still had to go through the whole rigmarole of like, they show you a bunch of videos of like, like how awful abortion is and how brutal it is and da da da, and it's like, yeah, like I don't want to do this, but like, it's either do this or both me and this, fertilized egg die. And
I don't think that's a thing at all abortion clinics where they have to
that
watch
is
like
a
a video of an
that
actual abortion.
that is a thing at a great number of places. Like it's state
It may
law
be,
in
but
some
not
places. Like this, the state of Ohio, like like they prior to their 6 week like heartbeat bill, yeah, like that's the process there. I know
It
because my family member
I'm
went
not
there.
denying that some places are like that, but I also wanna point out that conversely, there's also many places where you can just call in, set up an appointment, and go get the abortion with 0 counseling,
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'd have to check into
and
how
you don't
prevalent each
watch
one
any
is.
videos or anything, because 'cause they're definitely not showing women, a video of an actual live abortion before they get it. At I doubt it's even half. Definitely not the majority of places are not doing that.
For sure. How many states make you watch?
Would definitely need to see some evidence, some data on that.
Okay, and that's putting me on a list somewhere.
But I guess I've pretty much laid out my argument. If you had anything else to say, uh, go ahead, and then I guess I'll open up the panel if anybody else wants to jump up and
Sure. Yeah. I know.
throw
I
their opinion in the mix.
right. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I like my symmetry argument. I think once your brain dies, that you as a person are donezo. And so I think that's best to draw the start of that process. To be the start of your brain like working and being able to deploy that. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of weird downstream impacts if you start considering fertilization. The start of everything, and we get into this weird zone where
Well, fertilization's not what I consider the start of it. I consider the start of it the second round of mitosis. That's where I believe that the actual new entity that I think that's where the brand new organism is created. I think that's where it starts. Once the second round of mitosis begins, new genetic code is created.
for sure. Okay,
I think that's when it happens.
actually, I have like one more avenue, if you're okay with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Run down. Okay, so do you feel like women should be held legally liable for getting, or abortion should be illegal, right? After 10 weeks, in your view, and the women should be held responsible for like first degree
No,
murder
I
if
don't
they,
believe that.
or,
No,
or,
I
or,
believe the doctor should,
okay.
not the woman.
Um. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I feel like that. Yeah, that also kind of results in a lot of weird stuff. Like, uh,
Like what?
I mean, what if a doctor performs one at like 9.5 weeks? Because whatever, woman's kind of irresponsible, wait at the last fucking minute, and then, uh, but yeah, I mean, I guess like,
Wait,
you're,
now what?
so yeah, a doctor, a woman comes in, she's 9.5 weeks, nine and 3/4, like weeks pregnant, and the doctor's going to be the one held liable. But uh, I don't know. This woman doesn't want to be a mom, like doesn't have uh the support or the family system or a partner to help care for it. She's addicted to drugs or something, and like like this kid's just gonna grow up to be like, I don't know, have not a great time. I feel like the doctors are gonna be scared to go through with that.
Well, I look at it the way I look at drugs. You don't punish the drug user, you punish the drug seller, the people selling drugs, not the addicts.
Well, sure, but I
So
think doing drugs is a harmless crime, whereas if you go get an abortion, like I mean, like in your view, like you're like murdering a human.
well, you
Um,
just said it was too. So
I mean, after 20 weeks, yeah, but we
yeah,
have
yeah.
slightly different views, but like, but you're saying the woman shouldn't be, like a woman could go get, an abortion at 30 weeks and she shouldn't be held liable for that. It should be the doctor.
Well, the doctor definitely should be. I'm not sure I would make that. I would hold the woman responsible. I would have to give that more thought. I
For
haven't really
sure.
thought about that aspect of it too much, but
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I guess
the
I feel like that creates a chilling effect on the whole, like, on the,
that would be a good thing. We need a chilling effect on these abortions. They're out of control. They're a convenience mechanism, because I might not. They're mostly practiced out of fear. It's like, oh my god, I might not have enough money. I better just unalive it. It's like, no, you probably won't have enough money to get every little convenience that you want. You will probably have to make sacrifices to raise your offspring.
well, I
I
mean,
don't think that's justification to unalive it.
well, I mean, so you're cool with just forcing women who don't want to be mothers to be mothers?
They don't have to have sex. Nobody's forcing them to have sex.
Okay, so we should, make every woman register with the state and like submit data on their cycle to make sure that they're not doing any weird stuff.
I don't understand why that's even a thought to come into your mind. Nobody said women have to do anything. You can either have sex and take the consequences of that action or not. You're making it seem like every woman has to register at some office and then start producing babies at a certain time. Nobody's saying anything like that. All I'm saying that is if you as an adult woman decide to have sex, if you make that conscious choice to have sex, there could be repercussions from it. And I don't think it's right to just unalive your baby because there's consequences of it.
Or even if you don't want to be a mother, like,
That I don't think that has anything to do with it. What you want doesn't enter into the fact that you created a living being.
uh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's gonna have some. I think that world has more negative consequences.
Okay, so do you think it's okay for a woman to unalive her husband just because she's tired of living with him because she don't want to live with him anymore?
I don't know. Is her husband like growing inside of her? Because she can get divorced, like she can fuck off and leave, right? Like it doesn't, it's not like the husband is attached to her and requires her body to grow and develop and to provide nutrients and to care for 18 fucking years plus 9 months until you can throw them out. But yeah, again, I'm like trying to imagine a child's life, who's they found a mom found out she was pregnant like a week too late. and this kid just grows up like in a really shitty
Okay, then
environment.
what if it's a kid then? A kid has to live at home because that's their house. They can't live anywhere else. So, is it okay for a kid to just unalive their parents because they want to? Because that's what they want?
Or a kid to
Because they
unalive their
don't like the
parents.
rules?
Well, no, because both the parent and the kid at that point have a or have the capacity to deploy a human conscious experience, so that would be murder for me. Um, but like, yeah, I mean, like,
Okay, my position is that it's a living organism, regardless of how that life is expressed. It is still a living human being in the earliest stages of development.
yeah, for sure. I wouldn't necessarily disagree, but I don't know. I don't think forcing women to go through that. I mean, I guess
Okay, so you think it's okay to unalive a growing human offspring just because a woman feels like it? Because of her
up
feelings?
until 19 or 20 weeks, yeah.
So you think a woman's feelings takes precedent over life?
Uh, up until 19 or 20 weeks of gestation, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't really know what to say to that, so
Right. So yeah,
let's
I mean,
just open
I
it
guess
up.
like when
Maybe
you're
somebody else has something.
right, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I don't see how.
Well, I guess when you say that like you want to create a chilling effect, like that to me, it sounds like most doctors would opt out of providing abortions ever, because why would you? You're just opening yourself up to risk, and like so a 10-week ban, and if you do it, the doctor is the one going to jail. Like, why would any like sane, rational doctor ever provide that service? Like that's
I have no idea why a sane, rational doctor would go against their oath of doing no harm to a living being and terminate a living being. So, yeah, I don't mind a
uh,
chilling effect around him.
never sure. I know.
I mean, because you do admit that doctors take an oath to do no harm, and by unaliving a growing human organism, they are doing harm to that growing human organism.
Or well, I would say there's no real harm done because there's nothing to harm there yet. There's nothing there yet to speak of to harm.
There's all kinds of things there to speak of. I mean, if
There's
there
not a
wasn't
human
anything there,
conscious
we
experience.
wouldn't be speaking of it.
Well, no, there's no human conscious experience like that has the capacity to be harmed yet. Up until like 20 weeks.
Just because it's not old enough yet.
Well, yeah, that's the yep how that works.
So basically, you think it's okay to unalive human offspring as long as they're not old enough yet. What about if they're
Yep.
too old?
Yeah, yeah, generally, yeah.
If they're too old, you can just unalive them too?
I mean, I don't quite know what that means, but yeah.
Well, you brought up the argument. You said it's like once you lose consciousness at the end of life is the same as not having it at the beginning of life. So if you think it's okay to unalive a human organism because they're too young, is it also okay? Is it justifiable to unalive them because they're too old?
Yeah, I mean, if we have, like if there is a demonstrable like lack of capacity to deploy a human conscious experience, then yeah. I mean, okay, here. I'll bite this bullet for you, and maybe this will help, or maybe this will blow your mind. I think it would be fine, like to, if you could clone yourself and to grow it without those parts of the brain that give rise to consciousness, to use as like like organ harvesting or like a sex doll. Like, I think that's also fine. Like, as long as those parts of the brain for human consciousness like aren't there, then yeah, like that's super fine because it's not a person and there's nothing there to be harmed.
So it's basically why not do it a little bit before? Because it's like all it is a matter of time, right?
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
but time is is
eventually every human being is going to lose that ability for consciousness.
Well, yeah, but
So why
that's
not
like,
just do it early
but that's
since
your
time doesn't matter? Because
yeah.
you're not giving them time to grow in the beginning.
Well, I
So
would
why
I
give
would
them time
posit
to
that
keep
you're
growing?
the one making the argument that time doesn't matter because you're like, well, like this thing like will turn into this thing eventually, you know, like a fetus will grow and develop into an adult eventually. So therefore, like
I'm
you
not
know, it
saying time doesn't matter. I'm saying time is very important. It needs the time.
yeah, but
And
you're like quickly switching between like you know like time point 0 and time point 18 years and like these you know these are basically the same thing. I would say
they are the same. They're the same organism. I didn't say that they are expressed in the natural world the same, but they are the same organism.
for
The only
sure.
thing that changes is time.
Yeah, no, there is. I mean, yes, and time causes things to happen and things to change, and
Okay.
I don't know.
When is a fetus fully formed? So between 9 and 10 weeks, a fetus has all of its toes. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Between 9 and 12 weeks, a fetus has all of its toes. Everything that it's ever going to have, it already has. So I don't know about this.
What? What do you mean? I don't know like what that means. I don't know like what you're looking at. I don't know if you want to link me that, but like
I just did a quick Google search, but it just says that it has all of its fingers, all of its toes, and all of its organs
yeah, I mean
by
a
9 to 12
corpse
weeks.
also has all of its fingers, all of its toes, and probably most of its organs.
But it's not alive.
I mean, arguably, I don't know. It was alive.
Arguably,
It's
that
still a
is the
human
definition of a
organism,
corpse. Yeah, but it's a dead human organism. A fetus is not a dead human organism. It's a living human organism.
but it was alive at some point. If you just give us time, like maybe we can, maybe we can resurrect. All right, sorry.
Let me see. Let me pin this up here. Okay, I don't know where Susie went. I thought she wanted to hop up and say a few words, but
Yeah, she seemed pretty like very much so now. But yeah, I don't know. She might have left. I haven't seen her type anything in chat in a while. I guess.
I don't know if Shameless, did you have anything to say? Mr. B, I've never heard your voice. I don't think.
We're like Mr.
Eyes wide shut. You're welcome to come up.
God. I
So
will
let's
say.
talk.
Go
Go ahead.
I will say abortion is one of two topics that I consider to be very AIDS. Like abortion and veganism, they're like almost the same argument. But yeah, it's a lot of metaphysical stuff that
I haven't spoken about anything metaphysical. Everything I've talked about is biology and morality.
well, is morality physical? All right.
No, it's consciousness, which is exactly what you've been talking about this whole time. Consciousness. You've been ascribing that's your main thing of when an organism becomes viable is
Is
when it
is
has the ability
consciousness
to be conscious.
is consciousness physical or metaphysical? Like, can we pull out the part of your brain like that is like, oh, this is your consciousness?
Yeah, your brain.
For sure, but we
The
can't.
brain
For sure,
and the
is
nervous
is it the
system.
whole brain?
It's the entire brain and the entire nervous system is what is what allows you to either create or receive consciousness. It's what lets you interact with the world, send and receive signals. So even beyond, having the conscious ability to recognize it, a 6-week-old fetus, like I said, it can react to the environment. What's up, Rick? How you doing, man? We're having this. We're having a little abortion debate here.
Right.
We're commandeering women's bodies and making decisions for them, like men do.
Right.
But I mean, I think when you're talking about preserving human life, that needs to be done. I don't think you should just let people go out unaliving people just because they feel like it.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like you kind of necessarily then like need just like I mean, um, I empathize with that position. But like I feel like that would kind of necessarily require that we figure out a lot more about how miscarriages work and put a stop to those. You know, because like that's where a lot of significantly more miscarriages happen per year than have abortions happen.
That would be a good pursuit, a worthy goal. How you doing, Susie? Welcome to the
I'm
show.
good. How are y'all?
Good, good. Did you have some
How's it
thoughts
going?
on it?
Oh, I have lots of thoughts. First
Same.
of all, the whole thing about the elderly being useless. Thank you very much. I
Sorry.
am not useless. I have a parent.
100. 100.
Also, I don't disagree with birth control in any way, shape, or form. Anything that I don't even disagree with the day after pill.
Same here.
I do have a problem with abortions after a certain point. Now, I do live in Florida, and Governor DeSantis has set the limit to 6 weeks. I don't agree with that so much. I think that it should be a little longer than that.
What do you think about my compromise?
What
10
was your
weeks.
compromise?
It was 10 weeks because
12,
75.
well, 10 weeks, yes. I can agree with that better. I could agree with up to 3 months, 12 weeks. But
you still think it is unaliving?
I do, and I don't think it should ever be used as a means of birth control. Not ever.
Which that's the great majority.
If a woman has been raped and
try to say grape, please. That's a terms of service violation. Saying that, the R word. Just try to say grape. We say grape.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But in that case, yes, it should definitely be allowed. If the woman has been counseled and found to be so disturbed that carrying this child would be a real problem for her.
100.
If, on the other hand, she just doesn't want to raise this child, then there's always adoption, and an adoptive parent should, be made aware that what this was a result of. Incest is another. Absolutely, positively, without question, it should be allowed.
I agree with the incest one more than the grape one.
Ooh, why?
Why?
Or no, I meant for or whatever. Sorry, you're in the middle of your thing. Ignore me. Sorry, my bad.
No, I agree with the incest because those children tend to have more birth defects, mental problems, these kind of things. Maybe I'm wrong.
But I
would not have a problem with that. Again, though, within the time period that would be allowed in the beginning, up to the 12 weeks or, whatever the legal limit would be. Never in the case of birth control, never should be used as a alternative.
And I think
to birth control.
At least over 90% of abortions are a form of convenience. Different reasons, but they all boil down to convenience.
Well, like, I mean, my birth control failed, and I don't want to be pregnant is like, like that's
not good enough.
I mean, like that's
convenience again.
Yeah, I mean, it is convenience, but like, I don't know, like, to what standard are you holding these people?
To a realistic standard, to a standard of natural law.
Okay, so
take this to the literal point of what you just said. Your birth control failed, because I'm going to take you as the father do you then want to force the woman to have an abortion because you don't want to be a father?
I mean, it's a conversation we would need to have for sure. I don't know, depending on how they feel about it. Like, I'm not going to try to,
What if she says no and you say yes?
Yeah.
or I'm sorry, say yes to what and no to what. Or like,
What if she says no, I want to have the baby, and you say no, you're going to get an abortion?
I mean, I don't know. It's like a deeper
I don't
conversation.
want to be a father.
I mean, I don't know. As I said, there would have to be like a further conversation about this. Like, I would need more context. Like, I don't know. I would feel uncomfortable talking someone into doing something that they think is murder. So I don't know.
But at
You
the
would have
same
the baby.
time, she is not asking you if you want to be a father. She is saying, no, I'm pregnant. It's my body, my choice, and you got no say in it. I don't care who you think you are. But this might be your only opportunity to have a child. And
so
you might really want that child.
so this is why I have a rule in my life is I never finish in women whose family's net worth is lower than mine, to avoid this exact situation.
What?
Pre-cum. Just gonna say that.
That
Pre-cum.
doesn't work. Pulling out does not work. So sorry.
Or not
Trust
pulling.
me on that.
I was trying to avoid using the phrase I don't like raw dog women who come from families that are broker than mine.
So you wear condoms, but that could break, like you said. What if the condom breaks?
Well, I mean, is she on birth control?
No, she's not.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I don't know. Probably no penetration then.
She told you she's on birth control, but she's not, and your condom broke. Because these situations do happen in life. What do you do then?
I mean, me, like, this is hard for me to answer because, like, I would not be in this situation. I don't stick my dick in crazy.
A lot of people have said that. Many men have said that throughout history.
Yeah, like 50
it won't
Cent.
it'll never happen to me.
Right.
Well, yeah, but again,
Yeah,
most
I'm
people
sorry.
no, you're right.
My daughter's father walked out on me when I got pregnant, and had nothing to do with her until she was 12 years old, and it was convenient for him.
Jack, are you trying to tell me you've never had sex with a crazy woman? I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
No, I mean I have, but like, you know, like there's barriers
What's
you
up,
need to
Flow
put
State? How goes it,
in
man?
place.
What's up, Flow
Yeah.
State? Welcome to the show. Do what, Jack? You telling me you've never had sex with a crazy woman?
I'm
gonna call bullshit.
I don't think that's not that kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see some of these.
But yeah, I guess
As
yeah. I mean,
there
your
is a
situation.
question-
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, there is a question in the chat. Are fetus implants possible? Yes, they are. It's called in vitro. Well, no, it's different than the in vitro fertilization, but still, they can take a fetus and embed it in another woman. They could technically take a fetus and put it in a embryonic tank and grow it to a degree. But there again, how successful is that?
Not at all. Or I mean, not fully.
I mean, the technology will be there one day. I'm pretty sure that eventually it'll be there. I'll be right back if you guys want to carry on yourselves.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think we're at like an artificial womb truly to like actually, you know, like delete women from the equation. But yeah, I mean, like there's the line of viability is getting closer and closer for sure.
Let's go with the abortions where the fetus is born alive. The fetus comes out alive. What would your stance on that be? Should they kill that alive held in your hand being?
I'm not quite understanding what you're asking. Like being born alive, or like I guess
okay, they go in for a woman goes in for an abortion. And when they pull the baby out, it's alive. It didn't die. What should happen?
I
Go
mean,
ahead and kill it.
yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want with it, I guess.
So-
Up until 20 weeks. Sorry, I will caveat with that. Up until 20 weeks, you can do whatever you want with it. Anything after that is
Well,
not cool.
at 20 weeks, you probably were not reading the chat, so you didn't see my
Was.
statement. But there has been a child born at 20 weeks.
Yeah.
That survived
For sure.
and is an adult and perfectly healthy.
Yeah, I have a friend of
Now, my
mine who did that, and I love that for them.
My grandson was 27 or 26 weeks when he was born. And he was an absolute miracle. He was
Yeah.
born with no esophagus.
Jesus.
Now, my daughter said they knew from early on in the pregnancy, like within the first 3 months, that there was a problem with him and that there was a good chance he might not survive. And that not only would he probably not survive, but she probably couldn't carry him anyway long term.
Right.
Because she has prolapse, something. She has a problem.
For sure.
So she never would be able to carry a child to full term to begin with. But had she known that he had a birth defect, she may have not been as likely to carry him.
Mhm.
But it was because there was a medical problem.
Yeah. I'm not against
But-
eugenics, but you know, people don't like that word. But that is like what it is, though,
Well, you
right?
have
If you're like select, you
this
know,
is-
like we can test for Down syndrome like pretty early on, and like, you know, we have a lot less
Well,
Down
this
syndrome
was 30
people.
years ago,
Right,
almost
right.
30 years ago. And yeah, I know they had tests for Down syndrome even then, and they did know he had a birth defect, and they knew what it was.
Right.
He had no esophagus, and they knew that at about 3 months. But she didn't know about it, I guess, soon enough to where an abortion would have been legal at that point. But at the point that her carrying him would have jeopardized her life, they would have had to have in some way aborted him, but it wouldn't necessarily have had to be an abortion. She could have had a C-section. They could have delivered the baby and put him in an incubator, and he still would have survived, just like he did.
Yeah.
So it would have been the same thing.
For sure.
And I don't have, a problem with that. If they say, well, the mother cannot carry this child, and she's at, 27, 28 weeks, that baby is viable. They don't have to perform an abortion. They can deliver the child via C-section and put them in an incubator. And they would live the first 3 months of their life in an incubator.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I just think there are other choices besides abortion, even sometimes in the case of medical reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like, I mean, I don't think, I don't think we like ought to terminate pregnancies before 20 weeks. Like if you like are trying to get pregnant and you have medical complications, like, yeah, like if that is, what's going to be like your baby, and, whatever measures you want to go to like save that, like, yeah,
Right.
like I think that's fine. But like, yeah, before the 20-week mark, I would say that like, that's about equivalent to like what you want to do with your like cat or like pet. And after the 20-week mark, that's like, like that's a human now. Like, it's a person. Like you have to go to jail.
Is it okay to kill a 2-week-old cat?
I mean,
No.
or did you say legal or
Okay, morally.
I mean,
I
Yeah.
would not terminate pregnancy in an animal either. No.
So you think it's okay to kill a two-week-old cat just because you feel like it?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this.
Bro, that's psychotic tendencies right
Okay,
there,
so
man.
I eat meat. I don't know if you're like vegan or vegetarian or something, but like
Do you
like
eat
they
cats?
like lock up cows and like
Nobody eats
SA
two-week-old
them.
cows. Nobody eats
No,
two-week-old
because they're
cows.
called veal then, or whatever.
What's up, Eric? How you doing?
I
I'm good,
eat
King.
For sure. Yeah, and like farming is necessarily like they like SA and like unalive like those things on a regular basis, and like that's what that whole industry runs on. And if
Alright,
you're
hold up,
okay
hold
with
up,
that, like
hold up.
I don't know why cats are like maybe especially sacred, but like like there's a genocide happening to cows.
What's up, Internet God? How you doing? And Eric, welcome to the show. You got any thoughts on the matter?
Yeah, I wanted to know, like, do y'all have children? Do you have children?
Have what?
Do you have children? Do you have kids?
Children?
Yeah,
How's that relevant? How's that relevant to the conversation?
How is it relevant to the conversation?
Yeah. How's it relevant if I
I
personally
would
have kids
believe
relevant to this conversation?
because the fact that who are you to tell a woman what they should do with their body, or if she wants to continue with a pregnancy or not. Have you ever
The
been
woman has
pregnant?
already chosen what to do with her body. She chose to have sex.
What have?
What's up, Mike? How you doing, bro? Welcome
So
to the
what?
show. I can't hear you, dude. You're all muffly and stuff. I can barely make out what you're saying. Are you in like
I'm gonna
the broom closet or
gonna
something?
I might be causing a problem. Thanks for
Can you hear
letting
No,
me say my piece.
no, you ain't causing no
Yeah.
problems, Susie. This is
Yeah.
how these panels go. It's gonna be a lot of conflict and stuff, and Jack is gonna get all upset and stuff, no matter who he's talking to. It's not you doing
No,
it.
I have
That's a
lag.
Jack.
I
Huh?
have lag really bad.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think I might be causing you to have lag. Thank you for letting
No,
me
no.
come on and say my piece.
You're welcome anytime, Susie.
Yeah,
You
thanks
have
for
a good
coming up.
evening.
It
Thanks
was
for
cool
coming
to talk
on.
to you.
Did you piss Susie off when I went to the kitchen to get my pizza?
No, it was very nice to her, which is never mind.
That's good for Jack.
Yeah. I don't know, like
Go
she
ahead, Eric.
wasn't a sorry, go ahead, Eric.
No, Susie's a very nice lady. She wouldn't be disrespectful to anybody. I don't think. I've
Right.
never heard it. What? What's funny?
Nothing.
Okay. Go ahead, Eric.
Eric, did you fix your fucking mic?
Yeah, we're on the abortion discussion. So everybody's feces are all inflamed like an abused clitoris. It'll happen.
All right, so like while Eric is getting their shit together, what like do you think there's a moral difference between like cats and cows?
Yeah, that does
Yeah,
sound
that's
better.
way better.
Yep.
Thank you. Sorry, I have
No,
autism.
no, it was just the whole point of what I was trying to say. Like, when people are having a discussion of what to do with a woman's body, like, you know,
I'm discussing more to do with the fetus's body. That the fetus is not the woman's body.
Yeah,
It's a
women-
completely separate body.
Yeah, women don't have carte blanche to just like go take out whoever they want. So like I don't know.
listen,
Like,
I'm a man. I'm a man of that. I understand. I think men should have the right to choose whether we want to have a kid with that woman. I've always said that.
We do have that right.
well, that's a little well.
We don't have by not having sex or by not busting a nut
Yeah.
in her. Use my
By not
language,
having sex, yeah.
I wouldn't call that a right.
we should all be virgins.
Huh?
All right. Can I ask you, and then okay? Can I ask you another question? What do you
Yeah.
what's your agreement on gender, like transgenders?
I think it's abuse if you let children do it, but consenting adults, I guess adults can do whatever they want. I'm
Okay,
libertarian
so
on most things.
can I ask you? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
There's a guy, you know who, right? He you know me, whatever. Like this guy, we've been going back and forth for a while. He took a picture of me and put makeup on my face, and you commented earlier
Oh yeah, I
Makeup
saw
doesn't
that.
change. But why would, so that's funny to you for this man. I'm a man's man. I'm a man from New York. I'm a man. You understand? So that was funny to you for this man to
Yeah, it
make
was
me look like
funny.
a woman.
I
For
didn't
him
know.
to
I thought
degrade me like a
what the
woman?
captions. Hold up, let me speak. What the caption said was that you put it on. I thought you put it on. I didn't know
I
that
didn't put it
somebody
on.
doctored up the picture.
No, he doctored up my picture and he did that.
Oh, okay.
I don't agree with
But yeah, I
agree
thought it
with
was funny. I ain't gonna lie, it was funny.
so you pick and choose what's funny. So it's funny for him to make me look like a gay man or a tranny.
I didn't know that's what was happening. I thought you was doing it. If I had known the context that he was doing that to you, I probably
No,
wouldn't have found it as funny.
he's I don't mean like to use the race card, but he's a racist. You know, everybody knows in the community, I'm like the 1 out of 3 black
What's
men
up,
in the
Waffle
community.
House? I can't even remember
I'm
who
1 out of
posted
3
it.
black people in the community. So like he likes to do stuff like that too.
I can't
So
remember who posted it. Who we talking about?
the guy Cheese whatever.
Oh, Cheese. Yeah, I mean he seems cool to me. I don't know him super well,
I
but
know
I've
he's
never heard him
actually
say anything racist or anything like that. I
oh
haven't
no
personally.
he used to call me a ginger. What is ginger spelled backwards? If you put the words around.
It's
Oh,
He used to
okay.
Inside
call
Out,
me a typical ginger. Yeah,
but
he used to call me a typical ginger, and then put
Yeah.
makeup on me. I just left,
I mean that's
just
definitely
seeing what people.
stereotype. That's stereotyping. I don't know if I would go so far as to call it straight racist, but
well, I
it's
mean
definitely
that's
something
There's
like
been
along
more
there.
worse.
he.
There's been a whole lot more worse said to me.
I believe what
What's
my
up,
dude
Fane? How you
here
doing?
is trying to communicate is that like they slightly call them a racial slur, like the hard R, um, which I feel like is I
Yeah,
don't
By
but
know.
that's
saying
not what they
ginger,
said.
then
It was low key.
then throwing makeup on me, then throwing makeup and saying all types of gay stuff. I could go on Gen X Jeff. I respect him for who you want to be. If you want to be gay, you gay. That's your right to be who you are. But you don't have to
Right.
pass around me. I can't change what you want to do. That's why I'm saying a woman's right is her right. I'm not gonna say what she want to do. I'm not also not gonna
Does
laugh
a
at it.
woman have a right to unalive somebody?
Absolutely not. Nobody
Okay,
should
so
have that right.
what's the difference?
What's the
Why
difference?
when you talk about abortion do you sidestep the fact that a human
Oh,
offspring is being unalive?
I believe abortion is 100% the M word is
Okay.
the K word. I believe that is.
So
I'm
then
not.
why is it okay just because it's a woman's choice? Why does a woman's choice mean that it's okay to unalive someone?
I think it's very deep to say if it's health issues if say somebody like that guy Cheese we talking about, say like he had his dad might have did something with his daughter and like you want that kid to be born, like I don't know.
No, you're
Like
talking about an extreme outlier, which is incest, and I agree. If it's incest,
Yeah,
that
but we
that's
also
okay.
just
also
Same
just
same with any
because
cases of
well what if
incest.
it's
also just to be like super consistent here, just because someone has harmed you doesn't give you the right to harm like something else. This is a silly argument where it's like,
Right.
oh, like if they got SA'd, then like we should let them like take someone out. That's kind of a crazy thing. It's like, oh, like how much money would I have to steal from someone before like they get to go hurt someone?
but that's what I like me as a father, I always like go hard with it and say like my kids didn't ask to be here, you know?
Well,
So
none of
it's
us
like
did, right?
I would I yeah, none of us did actually.
Your parents
Some
didn't ask to be here, so
Yeah. No one,
exactly yeah,
no human asked to
nobody
exist. That's
asked
not
me.
how it works.
Yeah, I agree with that part. That's why yeah, I agree with that part. But telling somebody what they should do with their body, honestly, is like our
it's
moral
not.
ground is our moral ground. But
I don't
if
like that. That's more of that. That's more of that language they use to trick you with. That's what I was talking about with this whole deceptive language they've created to desensitize you from the reality of what's going on. They say instead of saying it, it should be that woman's choice to unalive her unborn offspring. You say you shouldn't force a woman to not have a choice. Why
and
does
if
she
you
have a
let
choice to unalive another human being? You got to
my thing
justify
as a,
that.
my thing as a man, I say, why should I should have the choice to say, you know what, I busted nut in her. I should have the choice not to deal with that kid, but I don't have that choice. But she has the choice to do what she want to do. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Why should you have the choice not to deal with it if you made the decision to bust a nut up in her?
Why should I? I'm just using. I'm being not necessarily being a devil's advocate. I'm just saying, like, I think that would be the same thing. Like saying if she could have the choice, why should I? That's why I say it. I am a bit a bit anti-abortion, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, I should have the right to do what I want to do, being that you have. These are the laws of the land, right?
What's up, Rick? How you doing tonight?
Let it be
What's
fair for
going
everyone.
on? What's going on? I don't know. It's coming Monday. What's this
Yeah,
idiot
yeah.
up here on the side
Oh,
of you?
who
Did
who
you
that
just
stinky leg? That's
say?
the guy. Yo, Rick, why don't you stand up for us?
Did you just
Stand
Dude,
up.
say
are you
that a
are you
person?
making a comment about him missing a leg, dude? I mean,
Oh,
that's the
because
first
he
thing you
called me
say to
all
him.
types
Take
of.
a shot.
He's one who called me all types of n words, all types of everything. He's
Well,
a former wrestler.
don't
I
throw
don't
no
know who
racial
you are,
slurs
dude.
around here.
No, he's done it. He's done it. He was just about to do it just now. You heard him say it. He was
I
just
didn't
about
hear
to
you
do
say
it just
nothing
now.
like that.
He just said ape.
I don't know who that
Huh?
is, Kane.
I
I
didn't
don't know
hear
who
Eric
that.
that
Lawless
is.
from Vegas Valley. From Vegas Valley.
Who?
From Vegas Valley. Eric Lawless from Vegas Valley from Jones. Whatever, man.
Yeah. Oh God, man, that idiot. Yeah. Don't talk to me, dude.
All right,
So
you don't
you
talk to me.
with the
I
glasses,
respect you
right
as a
on
wrestler.
top. I got a question for you because I heard you say something.
You talking to me?
I'm
New
listening.
York boy.
Oh,
I'm not talking to you, dude.
okay.
He's talking to Jack up top.
No, he's
Jack,
saying.
did you say
Oh.
you don't have a right? If someone kills your family or kills you or rapes you or somebody, you don't have a right to retaliate?
What's up, Spike?
That's not what I said. So what I said is, just because someone is harmed doesn't give them the right to hurt some like unrelated third party. Like, you know, if
Yeah, I thought that's what
if
you
someone robbed you, like you shouldn't just get to go like
it
punch
does
a
give
random
you the
person
right to
on the
hurt
street.
person to hurt you, right?
I mean, probably, yeah. I like, you know, hopefully like through the court
In
system and stuff.
self-defense.
But like, but
In
yeah, yeah.
But who are you? to
In
tell me that, though?
self-defense, but not as an act of revenge. That's not legal.
But who is
I'm
he
not
to
saying
tell
that's
us that?
legal.
Who is he to
Well, yeah,
tell us
I'm not talking
Revenge
about,
is an act of self-defense.
or I'm not talking about like self-defense or revenge, like, because that's both, like, both of those actions involve like you and another party, like, you know, like doing like tit for tat on each other. I'm saying that, like, you know, if someone robs you, like, you don't just get to go like punch someone in the face who works at the coffee shop because like
get to rob
because someone hurt you. Like you bring, like, if you're hurting an innocent, like, you know, as you're, you know, like to you know, claim damages, like that's
What up,
that's not
Denizen?
okay.
What's he saying, Kang?
That was my
Kang,
whole
what
point.
is
That
he
was my whole
saying?
point of coming up here. Nobody up here has children. That's my whole thing. Like, you know, I look at
That's
I
an
got
myself. I'm like,
children.
assumption you're making. You don't know if we have
Wait a
children or
second.
not.
I got children.
okay,
I
if
got
anybody
7
up here
daughters
has
and 2
children, we
sons.
all, as much as we go through with our kids, none of us really wish we had abortions with our children. You know, as much as we go through with the mothers or whatever. No, that's why I'm not a liberal. I'm more in the middle. I'm more independent. And to say no, I
But
don't
Lawless,
agree with it.
weren't you the one with that idiot Vegas Valley running around saying y'all were connected to the mob? You were one of them, weren't you?
I'm not connected to the mob. I'm from the Bronx.
Exactly.
And I'm
Yeah, because I
black.
called your fucking friend
They
out on
don't
that
allow my
shit.
cousin in the mob.
Hey,
They don't
Kang,
allow my cousin in the mob. You was
they
the
don't
wrestler.
what?
I liked wrestling. You was the one who pinned AC. I remember you.
He doesn't talk like he's from Las
Mhm.
Vegas. He has a New York accent
You pinned
also.
AC. Remember
Rick
when
said
he
he
wrestled
wrestled
AC?
AC. Yeah,
Remember
he said
he
he
wrestled
wrestled AC.
AC. He wrestled AC. Now AC, he puts dildos up his butt now. It's like big thing now. And he
I don't
wrestled
know
AC.
anything about that, dude.
Why does
Oh, well,
everybody
you
want to
gotta
talk
Hey,
follow
about
Kang,
him so
news.
much?
Now,
What's y'all's
Stinky Leg,
fascination
follow
with what people do with their
bro,
buttholes?
check it out.
Oh, I'm
Hell
sorry.
yeah.
Who's-
Oh
But
yeah,
Kane,
that's
nah,
nice.
I feel where you're coming from, Kane,
MXR?
but listen.
Yeah,
Is that distortion or what?
check out what I picked up, bro.
Oh yeah, that's definitely distortion. What was that MXR one? Was that just a boost?
No, phase 90.
Oh, phaser, nice. Oh hell yeah, that's what's up. I don't have a
So
phaser.
that
I
tuner
still need to
comes
get
in
one.
Monday. So, Mr. New York guy, Mike, whatever your name is, sir.
Easy money. Yeah.
Eric is his name.
Explain what you're saying.
As far as
Corporal.
my thing on abortion or what? As far as you, what?
What?
As far as my views on abortion, or as far as what this guy said, yeah, what he's saying, like, I don't agree with what he's saying. If somebody robs you, you gotta rob them back. If somebody slapping you, you gotta slap them back. A female may feel, oh, he did me wrong, so I'm gonna n-word his kid. That doesn't give her the right to do that. Nah, I get that.
So, haven't you heard in the Bible an eye for an eye?
And yeah, that's why they created a fake Jesus, because they say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But then you also heard in the Bible,
Okay, I want that guy to answer
love thy
that.
neighbor as you love thyself. You also hear that part. So that's why
Do
they
what?
had a God, and the God was just so evil, wicked. He destroyed the earth with a flood because he was upset. He cursed women with periods because Eve ate an apple. So God got mad one day. You can't make people believe that. So let's create a Jesus who's loving everybody, who's forgiving. So we're gonna create a Jesus. That's what
I
I
think
think.
you're missing the deeper meaning behind that story of what it's actually saying. You got to go back to the.
Explain it, or you want me to read it?
No, I'm talking about the context behind it. See, the way I read that is Adam and Eve, while they were angels in heaven, they knew that they had to come down and fulfill this role to set the stage on the physical world, because the physical realm is not. It's a complete opposite of. It's like a polar opposite of the spiritual world.
It's
So
just
it.
my thing came
You
is
just need to listen to some Jewish
I'm
scholars
sorry,
when it
I'm
comes to
sorry,
Adam and Eve,
I
to
was
what they
having a little.
were really talking about.
I was having
What we learned is a very simplified version of what was actually being discussed there.
Okay, but I want to know what this guy next to you had to say about that.
About the if somebody robs you, can you? I mean, just because somebody robs you,
Let him
yeah, on the
explain
street,
that.
on the streets, yeah. If somebody robs you, you got to rob them back. But
Yeah.
in in civilized society, we have a legal system that takes the place of that.
You're not.
No, we don't.
You're missing the point of what I'm
In
saying.
theory,
No, we don't.
If somebody robs
theory,
you,
in
okay,
theory.
so hey,
Have you ever
I'm
heard
not
of something
saying.
called?
am I muted?
Okay, have you ever heard of something called street justice, bro?
Yeah, that's what I said though. I said
Sort
on
of,
on the
Jack.
streets, yeah, that's how it is
If
on the
it's
streets.
and then they
But in
always
civilized,
it's a mental mute.
do you know who Jack Talcott is? Jack Talcott always tells me, "Oh, forgive. Oh, you can't argue with the people on YouTube. You and this guy." I'm like, Jack, but they fight us. Why can't we fight back? Why I always gotta get slapped? Why can't I slap back?
I
No,
mean, if you let
It
yourself
depends
be
what you
slapped,
want.
they're just gonna keep slapping.
Yeah. So
exactly.
the point that I was trying to make is like if you get robbed on the street,
Go ahead.
yeah, whatever, you can do your whole like robbing back thing or whatever the fuck, but like that doesn't give you the right to go rob the next person that you see on the street. So like I don't know, if a woman gets SA'd and like wants to commit and you think abortion is murder, then like you know like why would you be able to take that out on an innocent life? Like that's a silly policy, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, there could be some females who be like, "Oh, I hate this guy, so I'm gonna get rid of his kid." A female will say
He's
that they
got
do not like
Some
you, and they're
women
gonna
do
get
that.
rid of your child.
it's got a point because also in the Bible it says someone slaps, he turn the other cheek. He does. So
It
he's
says
got
both.
a kind of point there. But then motherfuckers like me and you, King, we don't live by that. You fucking fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you right back. You steal from me, I'm
My
gonna take
favorite
everything
verse
you
in the
got.
Bible is my favorite verse in the Bible is my enemies turn their hand against me. When shall you pay them back? Psalm
What?
45. Psalms 41:5. My enemies turned their heel against me. When shall you pay them back and show you
Let's
vengeance?
be your enemy, buddy. When
You see
when
that
you gonna
comment,
show me
Jack?
vengeance?
You see that comment, Jack, from Mike down there talking shit in chat?
Oh,
Jack
Oh,
yeah.
Mike,
Bronco
yo,
vape
Mike,
so he
pull
can
up.
have
Yeah,
stuff
tell
in his
Mike to come
mouth.
up. No, Mike is my guy. I like
I don't
I
tell
know
anybody
he's
to come
new.
up. You can come up if you want, but
Yeah, Mike can come up. Mike is my dude. I talk to Mike all the time. People bully him all the time. He's crazy. He's wild. We both wild. He's from Queens, New York.
But does he
But at
smoke
the same time,
PCP?
people bullied him. They got mad at me because I was defending
I
him.
remember you, dude. You're that black dude out of New
I'm the
York,
black
always
guy
running
from
your
Vegas
fucking
Valley.
mouth.
I
You
was
got
the
this and
only
you got.
black guy.
I remember your little fucking ass.
I don't
Okay.
think Mike's
was-
gonna come up with Rick Crude up here.
He
I was
remembers
the only
his
black
No,
guy
I
on
don't.
Vegas Valley. But Rick, I was the only black guy on Vegas Valley. I was talking to you about wrestling. I'm a wrestling fan from when I was like 5 years old. Hulk Hogan days. You were telling me how
Okay.
you met what's the guy? Mustafa. How you didn't like Mustafa?
Yeah, I didn't like. A lot of people don't like. Well, not Mustafa.
Tag.
What's his name? New Jack.
The guy New Jack.
New
Yeah,
Jack. They like
you knew him
Mustafa,
personally.
but they didn't
Yeah,
like
you
New
knew
Jack.
And then I heard you and Lil Puffy. Really talking about wrestling. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? But
Cheese, he said you're racist,
No.
dude. Is that true?
Who's
Eric
racist?
said you're racist.
He
Cheesehead.
said there's a lot of racist stuff, like to the fullest. And I hate the fact that he does it. Do you
I ain't
hate
never heard him
that?
say nothing
Who?
racist, but like I'm new to the shit. Cheesehead. Cheese.
Wait, who's
Oh yeah,
racist?
they have called me. They have said so many like, and they don't. You know what? It got them mad when they realized that I could be racist too. But having hate in your heart, like the guy above said, just because
Yeah.
they're being hateful doesn't mean that I have to be hateful. But then again,
Right.
like
I agree with
they
that, but
prove
he's saying you're
I
lying.
don't have to be.
I mean,
I don't have to be a pussy, right? So I can
Right,
fight back
No
the way
one's
they
telling
fight.
you a pussy, bro.
Nah, we
you're
went at
welcome
it
to
a
come
couple
up,
of times.
Cheese, if you want.
We went at it a couple of times. I'm not gonna argue with this guy.
I mean, I'll just say I ain't been around too long, but I ain't never heard Cheese say anything racist.
Oh, he called me
Personally,
a
I haven't.
ginger. He's called me the ginger, typical ginger,
All right,
out of
okay.
nowhere.
Hey,
Wait,
what
wait,
is
wait,
my-
wait, wait.
I
I
said,
get- I get called-
Wait.
I've
You're
I
a
said
get
black
called
dude.
man-
If I remember right, you're a black dude. So how the hell are you a ginger? I've never seen a black
I don't-
ginger ever.
Oh,
in my life.
because they were trying to make that. They were trying to say because I'm light skinned. I finally cammed up. I'm an attractive dude.
So
but
what?
I'm a very
So
attractive
what?
man. So they took my
So what?
pictures. They started distorting my pictures. You know. And
I've
it's
been
like they
called a
So
started-
there's a
mayonnaise.
tribe-
I've been called a
there's a
mayonnaise
tribe-
marauder
there's
cave
a
dweller
tribe in
100 times.
Africa- There's a tribe in Africa that is very light skinned.
No, but it was the whole point of they go at Vegas Valley, do what they was doing to him. Then they went at Mike Cerrone. Mike Cerrone, listen, this is my guy, but he's could be annoying as shit sometimes. But I love the guy. He's
Sometimes.
crazy. He's from Queens.
Max
I fuck-
Cerrone full of shit, bro.
Yo, he could. Oh, so aren't we all full of shit? But he's funny to me. Sometimes I could talk to him. Sometimes he's long-winded.
So
I
Mike
ignore him.
Cerrone,
sometimes
hold
he
on,
ignores
Mike
me.
Cerrone. I challenged him to a fight way before I lost my fucking leg. All right, King.
No, that's
Way
a
before I
lie.
lost my leg. And
Well,
I
he's
said, all right,
6'3".
I got the fucking
but
ring. I got friends. I even had my good friend from ECW. Oh goddamn, Tommy Snow, who runs Ohio Valley Wrestling. He says, Rick, just come on by. The ring's yours. Tell the guy to come on. All he's got to do is sign a fucking waiver. If you heard him, we ain't responsible. No problem, Tom. Mike didn't want to do that.
AC stepped up
but
though, didn't he?
Nobody wants to really fight anybody. Like, you think I want to go to jail for fighting one of these people
Oh,
on YouTube?
So when my little cousin, Liliana, that was murdered at the Uvalde
died?
High
Liliana?
Uvalde School shooting, so we're gonna do a benefit, and I invited AC. Hey, let's have a rematch, just for the fuck of it. AC didn't want no part of that.
Okay, but why did AC? He was doing the dildo thing up his butt, and I like it.
I
That's
don't-
my dude. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know
At the end of the
anything
day, I'm not
about
gonna
that.
judge him. I'm not gonna
I
judge him
cannot
because-
say. I don't know if he did or didn't, And if he
Yeah,
does,
I don't
that's his
either. I don't
personal
care.
That's
thing.
his personal
That's his,
business.
that's his business, man. I don't know why everybody
Exactly.
keeps
Like, why
talking
does
about that
everybody
shit.
go after somebody? Hey, they diss Mike because he pulled out his penis. Yo, and his no Diddy. The guy had
I
Oh
a
my
think
rape.
pulling.
God! How
I
many
think.
other
Hold up.
motherfuckers?
Hold up.
how ma-
I think pulling your penis out on cam is way worse than doing whatever he did behind
He
closed
was a little
doors.
bit, yeah. No, I think
But that's
putting
his, but
putting a
that's his
dildo in your
personal
butt.
business,
But
bro.
Mike has, listen. When I tell you this guy has a New York cock, no homo. He had a New York cock. It was
Sounds kind of gay to me,
15
bro.
inches, flaccid. Hey, yo,
You
I
lost
am
me. I
not
don't even know
gay.
what you're talking
But
about
you
at this
should know
point.
this stuff. Well, whatever, Mike. We're stuck now. Nah, that's not good. I mean, you could laugh about it. They just try to make fun of him all the time, but he brings it on himself, so nothing you can really do about it.
I mean, yeah, he does kind of bring it on himself because the first thing he said when he got into this chat tonight was he started talking shit about Jack. I mean, there was no, "Hey guys, how you doing? What's up?" It was just straight.
And I got at
Jack's
him
like
about the Jack thing.
Jack like stuff in his mouth.
Look, me and my cult leader, Dalor Banana, we said some horrible stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna say we, because he did his part, I did my part.
I gotta
And
agree with that,
I
Mr. B.
apologize for yeah, I apologize for my part. He apologized for his part because it was horrible. Those words that we uttered and the things that we did, we were going crazy. It should not have happened. You know? And the one thing that I say, and I thank God for his grace, that we are allowed now to move on with our life. He's working now. And what I said, him and Mr. P also motivated me to forget this DoorDash thing, forget my Uber app.
Well,
Let's go get a
well,
job.
I mean, that's what I asked. I said, "What if some kids saw that, Mike? What if some kids were sitting around when you pulled it out and they got flashed?"
But
you
what?
know?
But it will be anybody. There should not be always kids. Everybody brings up kids. People bring up kids more than we do. Like they always talk about kids. Listen,
Yeah, because
I don't
kids
want to
should
be
be
around my own
protected.
kids.
Because kids should be
Okay, but your
protected
kids are gonna be
by.
protected. They shouldn't be watching your YouTube.
No,
They shouldn't be watching your
no,
YouTube.
no,
Don't
no,
chat.
They shouldn't
no,
be.
Kang. No, Kang.
The
If a
what?
kid's in this goddamn room, it's his fucking parents' responsibility. See what the
It's the
little
parents,
fucker's up to.
exactly. Could have been. That's what they try. Oh, they could have been. I think that girl Zelly, Smelly Zelly, whatever. Her kid
I don't
was. They
disagree
were
with that.
lying. They were using kids as an excuse.
Uh,
Stop using. Nobody
Kang,
cares about kids.
God damn,
We
shut
used to-
up,
Hey,
Negro.
Kang, can I ask you a question?
Kang, when he says Shelly, bro, he's talking about Anarchy Chick.
Kane, can I ask you a
I don't
question?
know her.
When you say Kane, if you
Yeah.
say okay, kids like when kids get harmed by shootings, right? It's okay until it's that certain kid. Kids are everybody.
Any
Oh, a kid is a blessing.
any kid.
Until it's that kid you don't care about. Stop acting like
Well, I
y'all
mean,
care
I do.
about kids.
You do
Like,
care
a
about
lot of
children
people.
more than
That guy
adults,
Cheesehead doesn't have kids. He doesn't have
bro.
children.
I think what you're
He
failing
doesn't
to
have.
hold up. What you're failing to take into account is that
I'm drinking some.
children.
I'm drinking some.
Hold up. Children are weak and naive. It's up to strong adults to protect children from the world.
They
You can't
ain't
just throw them
goddamn
out to the
naive
wolves,
in
bro.
this day and age, bro. I hate to tell you, Kane,
but
they're not
they-
innocent
This,
in this
my
day
brother,
and age.
my brother. It's
They might
it's
not be
up to
as
you.
innocent as they
It's
were,
not up-
but they
it's not up
still
to
don't
you
have
to
the
protect my
mental
child.
capacity. Yo, chill out, dude. Quit over talking me. They don't have the capacity to
Oh, my fault.
to
Let me-
reason
Bro,
like an adult can.
well, no, Kane, but remember, we grew up in a different time. These kids are a lot fucking smarter and faster than we were.
Yeah, I don't deny that, but they're still children and deserve to
And
be.
at the end of the day, like I expect my children to know. I don't expect nobody else to protect my children. That's my
No, you
job.
have to teach your
That is my
children,
job.
bro. It's not that you expect them to know. You have to teach them.
I
You
said
have to
foul
raise
shit.
them,
I
and you
said
have to
foul shit.
nurture
I said
children.
foul shit on YouTube about. I said foul shit on YouTube that I should not have said, and I apologize for that. But I'm not gonna keep kicking myself in the ass for these people. I admit it, and I said, you know what? That was fucked up. I should not have.
All
looked
right,
at
what part of
it.
New
That's
That's all
York
you
are
can
you
do.
from, buddy? What part of New York are you
I'm
from? I forgot. Aren't you from
from the
what?
Bronx, baby. I'm from the Bronx, baby. The
Bronx,
Bronx,
okay.
the BRONX.
The other guy, the white guy was what part of New York you from, bro?
I'm not from New York. I never said I was from New York. I think you've been mixing me up for a
Somebody
while.
said you were from New York.
I mean,
No.
I think if somebody publicly apologizes, it should be accepted, and people should move the fuck on. I mean, to keep bringing it up after someone has expressed their
Yo,
apology.
listen, these are.
I mean,
I don't care about
I
them. They
think that
can keep
makes
bringing up
you look like the dumbass.
Well,
basically.
well,
They all they do
apologies
is they
are,
just
is
keep
like
bringing it.
everybody calling each
Apologies.
other bro. I don't ever call anyone bro because ain't none of these motherfuckers are my bros. They're not my brothers. I don't trust any of these fuckers with my life. So
That's
I won't
why
call.
I love.
But everybody throws the word
I
bro.
love AC. You know what I love about
sister,
AC?
love. I
What I
love
love
you,
from the shit
Kane.
show. What I
I
love from the
love you,
shit show.
Kane.
Yeah, I know you.
That what I learned
except,
from the shit
except
show,
for
and that's why
Kane.
the shit show is legendary. The shit show is legendary in the drama community, and this cheesehead guy thinks he's a part of the drama community, but he's not. What AC's always said, yo, you don't apologize and you don't admit to nothing. He was like
Well,
the
I don't.
original
I don't.
Tony.
I
That's why
don't go by
never
that philosophy.
apologize.
No, but it's
I
true
th-
though.
I don't
But you,
apologize for the
if you're really wrong, no, what I
I do.
said
I
was
don't
foul, and I ain't feel right about myself. I apologize. So I gotta be a man about that.
Yeah,
You know
but
what
I
I'm
don't apologize. No, motherfucker, you're a liar. I say some fucked up shit, and I don't apologize because it came from my fucking mouth, and I have to own it. I have to fucking eat
Yeah, I
crow
gotta
a
own,
lot
yeah,
of times.
I own what I said. I own
that
what
I
I said. I own what I said. I own what I said. But I ain't have to really like go that route. I can go worse than that, but I have to go that route. What I said to Lord Doc. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have to go that. I ain't have to go that route. You know, that was it. That made me
Well,
feel
your
bad.
little name, your name goes across many goddamn fucking channels. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, dude, but your name comes
I'm that
across
guy.
a lot of time.
Like I've been on YouTube before but in since 2015. Like they doxed my name. My name is
I-
Eric Lacewell. They know this already. And this
I've seen
guy,
you
he
on
pushed my name
Liliana's
right
show.
now.
That's the only place I've seen you before that I can recall.
Yeah, she calms me down. Calms me down. Like, okay,
Don't
this is
say
a safe
that
space.
name, Kane. Do not say that name ever again to
I'm
me.
gonna get Rick. I'm gonna get Rick all worked up. About to get hot
Yo,
and
why
bothered up in here.
does the mic come up? Eric, provide the
Hey,
receipt.
well, look, God fishing.
No, but why, I'm
God
not
fishing
providing
shows
any
butt
receipts.
plugs.
I don't have to provide a
God
receipt.
fishing poon is
I won't
showing butt
provide
plugs.
nothing. Everybody knows I apologize. I'm apologizing now. That sounds dumb. I said what I said, but I'm not gonna kiss nobody's ass. You understand me?
Oh, by
Why
the
don't they
way,
apologize for calling me?
Kane,
Why don't they apologize for saying that? I hope you hang by. What they said? You're gonna get dragged by a truck, hanged on the tree, knowing that I'm a black man. All the racist shit they said to me, but they want to call Vegas Valley the racist. All the things they said to me,
okay,
and I came
number
back
one,
at them.
hey, Lawless, number one, do you
Smaller
live here in
keys.
Texas where I do?
Say that again.
Do you
No, I
live
didn't
here in
live in no
Texas where I do?
No, I would never.
Then
You
your
didn't
ass,
pay me to live in Texas.
your black ass is safe because you ain't gonna be dragged behind any fucking truck. We only do that in Texas.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you. My mama from Alabama
So
though.
don't come
I
up-
ain't never
so
going
in
to
other words,
Texas.
there,
And she
Lawless,
left,
in
she
other
left
words,
Alabama
that's
to
your
come to
fucking
New York.
first and last
We ain't
warning.
never going to that.
Shut up, boy,
We
when I'm
ain't never
talking
going
to you.
back to that.
That's your first and last warning. Don't come to
Exactly.
Texas. Don't mess
Stay
with
out of
Texas.
Texas. Stay out of Louisiana. Stay out of New Orleans.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fuck that. Man, I'm right here
So,
in this.
Kane, I
Listen.
believe that a woman has a right to her body. If she wants an abortion, hey, you know what? God bless her. It's wrong, but hey, who are we? Unless she's your wife, then you should have something to say about it.
Well, is it not up to society to stop other people from unaliving other people?
Fuck society, bro. All right, fuck
Based.
society. We're not accepted in society, me and you. We're considered white fucking trash and proud of it.
In
Why
certain
are we
parts of
consider, so
society,
we
yeah.
consider white trash and proud of it? You're not. What's white trash?
It's trash that's white.
This is what I'm saying.
Just
like the whole Kamala
our
Harris.
Lord and leader,
Yo, like the
Donald
whole
fucking
Kamala
Trump.
Harris thing. Like
Right.
today, yo, can I tell you
Donald
this?
Trump,
Like the whole
baby.
Kamala. Can y'all want to hear? Y'all want to hear this from the black perspective? And on my dad, I would tell you this. On my daughter, listen, I would tell you this, right? Yo, we were in like a room today at this little job thing we were dealing with, and there was some Hispanics there, right? And this girl, she just came out like, what? Now why? Da da da. And yo, they gave the Puerto Ricans. I'm like, they didn't get the Puerto Rican shorty. They gave the immigrants money, $3,000 to do anything, and we had to work hard and hustle hard. And most of us are losing our homes. We're struggling. A lot of us lost our parents
What?
through COVID.
Look,
Yo, listen,
we're
but
here
listen,
talking about we're here talking about abortion. We're not here talking about you losing your goddamn food stamps and government fucking
not
money,
me. Who
bitch.
talking about food stamp? Nobody said food stamp. I said family. We lost our family. And we lost our family. You understand?
You what
And
you
they was
What,
like,
you
what
just lost
family
your
did you
family
lose,
and
bro?
what?
they were literally giving these they're giving the immigrants $3,000 a month in New York, bro. $3,000 a month in New York.
So what?
And
So what?
how is that? How
So
does that
what? Are you
negative? How
serious?
does that have a negative effect on you?
'Cause
You said you lost your family. What do you mean by
I-
that? How'd you lose your family?
okay, so allegedly I was a robber, right? So allegedly if I was a robber, right? Those $3,000 when I was younger, no, we would have took that shit from them. It's wrong because our family struggle. When you lose your family, you lose anything. Yo, you gotta step it up. Your daughter has to step it up. Your son has to step it up. The mother has to step it up.
Okay,
Father has to step it up.
okay. So
But they allowed.
like
I agree
Kane
with
said,
Donald
what
Trump.
exactly did you
For day
lose?
one, do day one.
What
If
did you
Donald Trump
lose,
does not,
dude?
sorry, if Donald Trump does not do day one,
What did he lose,
deport you.
Kane?
Huh?
Let me mute. Go ahead. Say what you're saying, man.
What did you
Do what,
lose,
Rick?
man? You said you lost your family. How'd you lose your
Yeah,
family?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
We all had COVID-19, right? That's when I heard this fucking dumb. And she was. I don't mean to be racist about my own people, but she said, "Oh yeah, it's stimulus." I was like, "Yo, sweetheart, let me tell you this, yo. I lost my. I lost.
Lawless. Okay,
And I said, "You
Lawless.
think you
What
getting a
the
stimulus
fuck,
check?" I said,
dude?
"That's so." Listen, no time out. On everything I love, I told this girl this today. I was like, "Yo, you think a stimulus check? This is why you decided not to
What
vote?"
the fuck does COVID have to do with today? You said you lost your family today because of the
Yeah, what are you talking about?
immigrants right now in New York.
No, that's not what I meant. That's not how I was trying to say it, recruit. I said I lost my family during COVID, like a lot of other
A
people.
lot of people lost loved ones during COVID.
And this black, okay, now I can say black because I'm black. This black chick today, when we all talking, whatever, she says something to the Mexicans, the immigrants. She's like, "Oh, they allowed them to do this, and now they're taking their money back. Oh, we voted for Trump because of a stimulus check." And I had to check her. I said, "Yo, people lost family members because of COVID. People lost family members because of them checks, right? That wasn't. So that's
No,
ignorant.
wait. What do you mean they lost family members because of the checks?
Oh, not because of the check. Well, no, because of the check. If nobody
Ha-
died, if it wasn't for COVID, nobody would have gotten the $2,100.
That
Nobody
don't have
would have
nothing to do
got
with the
that.
check. I mean, that's not. It just sounded like you were saying they died because they got checks.
Not because of the check. People died. People died, basically.
Yeah,
So
people.
you're
Yeah.
like you voted for Trump,
Well,
basically.
I don't understand what
Okay,
that's got to
here's
do
what
with
I'm
any
trying
of
to
this.
say, Kane. I was trying to say you dumb black bitch. People, you're saying you voted for Trump because you think you're getting a check. You're dumb. That's basically what I was trying to say. Why would you think that? People lost their lives, yo. Not for a check. That check helps stimulate the economy. I understand that. But people die because of COVID, yo.
Dude, what's that background noise, man? You working out or something?
It's me.
That's
It's
not
my
me,
AC.
that's
It's
Rick.
fucking hot.
Oh,
That's the crew. He's beat. Yeah, turn
if
the
I can
ceiling
put
fan
some.
off, Rick.
Let me see if I can put some background noise suppression.
But you
That's loud
understand
as
what I'm
shit.
trying to say, Kane? Yo, why did Mike come up here and fucking talk about what I'm talking about now? You know, every time that Mike got
I don't
into
even know
something,
what you're talking about right now. So try to bring a.
I
Try
have
to put a
listen.
point
I'm
on
gonna
this
show you
shit.
my bottle. I'm gonna show you my bottle. I'm gonna show you my bottle. Show you my bottle. Now I'm not gonna do it because Cheese ain't gonna take a picture of me and put makeup on the bottle.
I was looking at that picture just now. It don't look fake to me. You want me to bring it up?
Oh, what? Oh, hey, you want to be funny, sir? So you think
No, I'm just saying,
myself?
if you want to discuss it, I'll bring it up,
Oh, talking about you want
and
to
you
go
can
there with me?
because it
You
don't
want to
look
go there
fake.
with
I
me?
mean,
So you think?
I'm just saying
So
it.
this is what white. This is what. Oh, time out, country boy. This is what white men do. They put dress on black men, and you think why the motherfucker would an alpha man like me put makeup on my face? Are you
People do
fucking?
that shit, man. Especially these days, a
I
lot of men
don't.
do that
Yeah,
shit.
That's
Oh
I
yeah,
like how I look in
faggot boy.
eyeliner.
all I was
That
saying
faggot white boy. Jesus do.
it don't really look fake. I mean, what makes me
Listen,
think
dude.
what makes me think is it looks real is the facial expression that you have on it. I
Listen,
mean,
he's
he
mad
he
because
puts
of
on
how cute he looks. It's
Yo,
fine.
this guy
a
masturbates.
perfect
This
picture.
guy masturbates to me. This guy masturbates to me. Talks. Yo, you look at his
Uh,
timeline, bro. All he does is talk about me and Ham Banana. Like, yo, and he's from Milwaukee, like where Jeffrey Dahmer's from. Like, you know what Jeffrey Dahmer was about, and that's why he won't show his face. He won't show his face.
Because he's from
He
Milwaukee.
won't. We're
Damn,
gonna
really,
dox him.
bro?
Yeah, we're gonna dox him eventually. We're gonna dox him eventually, but he won't show his face.
Okay,
Well, that's
so,
pretty weak.
so
I'm just gonna say that's pretty weak trying to dox somebody.
not only
He already
that, what the
doxed me.
fuck does Jeffrey
No, he
Dahmer
doxed
have
me.
to do with this
No, he
shit?
doxed me. He doxed me and said my name, Eric Lacewell. That's my name. He
Oh,
tried to
he
put up
doxed you.
address.
He
Well,
doxed
well,
you
you
There was
first.
some
doxed
racist.
yourself.
Listen,
Congratulations.
yo, yo, there's some racist people out here that were really. He doxed my name, and then somebody else put my address. I'm like, all right, come. But there
Yeah, I
are
don't
some
agree with
crazy
none of that
people
shit.
out
That's fucked up.
here. He did it. He did it. Look at his face. You saw it, right? He said Eric Lacewell, right? You saw it, right? So why don't you denounce him?
Cheese, did you dox him? I mean, was he the first person to put the information out there, or was it
No,
already out?
okay, no, the fuck the first person. He put it on his post. He put it in his community wall. My first,
Right,
my
right.
last name, and somebody
still
put in my
spreading it
fucking
around.
address after that. So
But-
denounce him, then, Kane.
Wait, where's it at? I don't see that.
That doesn't make the guy racist, man.
No, he's a racist for calling me the N-word.
Definitely
He's a
don't see
racist
it.
for calling me the N-word. He's a racist for saying he doesn't like black people. He's been said it with the swastika on the back of his
I don't like black people. How's that? I
I
like
could- yo,
black
I like-
people
I like
because of
white-
the way
I like-
y'all
Well,
are.
that's wrong.
I
The
hated
way
white
you're
people.
acting
I would say
is
that's
why a
wrong.
lot of white people don't like
Let me tell you
black
something,
people.
Rick Rude. Yo, Rick Rude, you listen. I used to hate white people, but just people on YouTube that made me like white people, like Mr. P, Samantha P.
That's what's up. I respect that. I
Yo,
can
like
appreciate
her.
that.
Yo, even fucking
mean,
Gen
I
X
think
Jeff. Like, I
once
didn't
you
know
get to
nothing
know
about
people-
white people till YouTube. White, yo, AC's not white, but yo, I learned to like white people.
So why didn't you like white people in the first place? What formed that opinion?
My first arrest
Rick, let him
my
answer.
first arrest in my entire life. My first arrest in my entire life. Like, yeah, well, it was manslaughter, and it was my case is still they've been doing this shit for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this, all right, cool. Yeah, it was a white man chasing me down. You black N-word effing da da da. My case
And he
still.
thought you committed. He thought you committed unaliving somebody, right?
Who thought I committed unaliving somebody?
The
No,
cop.
that's a fact.
The cop that was chasing you thought you
No,
unalived
no,
somebody.
no.
What are you talking
No,
about?
that
You
is
said the
a
first
fact.
time I asked you why you don't like white people, and you said because of a cop when I got arrested for unaliving somebody.
No, that's the reason why that happened.
No. You said you got charged with manslaughter.
Is that you heard what I said?
That's what I thought. I thought that's what you said. Yeah, you said. Yeah, I said, why don't you like
Yeah,
white
yeah.
people? You said
Yeah.
because the cop was
Yeah, they've been
white when I
trying-
got
they've been trying
arrested
to
for
ask me
manslaughter.
so much shit out. But because I took away another white person a white person who was trying to physically harm me. That's on them.
Like what?
Okay, I don't really know what you're saying.
Wait,
but-
goddamn it, wait. Okay. So
As
what?
long as these
Okay.
people want to continue
Tell us
to
the reason. Hey, shut up. Tell us the reason you got charged with manslaughter.
He got an
All you guys
abortion.
really do is look it up, and I really don't.
Good one.
Because that's what this guy is doing. That's what this cheesy guy is doing. and he's trying to like bring back things with
I'm
you guys-
gonna ask you one
Hold
more
up. Let me
time.
hold up. Let me welcome Mike to the panel. How you doing, Mike? How you doing this
What's
evening?
up? What's up?
Mike,
you guys excited?
Mike, I should shut up, right? Mike, I should shut up, right?
No,
No,
you're
be
good. You're
honest
good.
though. I think
No,
I
you're
should shut
good.
up.
You're
I
good.
think I'm saying. So
No,
I'm
no,
telling my
just keep
whole
it
story
going.
to people.
Yo, keep it going.
Telling my
Keep it
story
going.
from
Kane,
telling my story.
Kane,
from people.
let's not
Yo,
convert. Let's not convert, Kane. I want to know the actual reason why he was charged was manslaughter.
I think
that's
he tried to.
personal.
I think he said it was self-defense or something.
Wait,
You,
charged
you
with
were
or
allowed to
convicted
watch-
of?
Charged, not convicted.
Oh, okay. Then who gives a fuck? Fuck you. Boring.
Yeah.
Go on.
But I
as you
mean,
were.
And he
is
said that's
everybody
why he don't
excited?
like white
Mike,
people because he was charged with the
Mike,
murder. I
thank
guess
you, Mike.
you feel like
Mike-
it was done.
Well, he was
unjustly.
he wasn't
They chose you
convicted.
just because you're a
I
black
mean,
man.
I mean, he wasn't convicted
Mike,
of
I'm
it.
drinking. Mike, I'm drinking, and I'm gonna shut up. Thank you. I appreciate you.
That's cool. Is everybody excited for Trump? For the Trump win? Is everybody excited?
Nope. I've been
Yeah,
drunk for
no?
3 days.
No, nobody
Kane.
is excited, Mike.
God damn it,
Listen,
Kane.
listen. I can support Trump. I can
Kane,
support
I
Trump.
want to
But
know.
I cannot support
Tell
the
us why
hate.
you were
I
charged
cannot
with
support the
manslaughter.
Proud Boys.
Tell us why you were charged with manslaughter.
Eric, do you
Yo,
want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Don't do that to me, yo. Listen, I should not have said that, but don't do that to me, Rick Crew.
You
Don't
brought
do
it
that
up.
to me, bro.
You brought
Well,
it up.
sure. I mean, but he obviously doesn't want to talk about
He's
it,
not-
and it's kind of weird to. I mean, whatever. It's your thing, but like,
That's fine. We can move on.
Yeah, I don't
Just
know.
let him move on, Rick. He don't want to talk about it.
yeah. We're on a
No,
public
we all
platform.
can ask.
You
That's
shouldn't.
fine, but you do know what manslaughter is. The motherfucker got drunk, accidentally killed somebody. The motherfucker sold dope to a guy, and he accidentally died. There's a lot of shit under the umbrella of manslaughter. He's trying to act like he fucking
In
killed somebody.
1990,
You didn't kill
in the
anybody.
90s, that did not happen. That happens now. That happens now. In the 90s, you
Yeah.
don't fucking give somebody sell drugs
You
to
sold
somebody. I was
crack.
never a
You,
drug-
you sold
drug
crack
deal-
to somebody,
drug dealing.
and he
Drug dealing was
overdosed.
never on my jacket, bro. Drug dealing is never on my jacket, bro. Not at all. Never on my jacket.
Manslaughter could be so
I
many
could have been
different things.
I
It could
could have
be
been driving.
involuntary
I could,
manslaughter,
guess what?
yeah.
I could, man, please, yo. Please, yo. You know what? Yo, Rick Crew, what I'm saying, and I shouldn't have said, yo, Mike, I came up here and I think I drank too much. That's why I said don't drink in panel. Man, please.
Yeah.
I'm with. I don't
It is what
even
it
want
is,
to
but
come
no,
up
no.
and show it. I don't want to come up and show it because all they're gonna do is make fun of it. But you
It's all
understand
good.
where I'm coming from, right?
I ain't making
Yo,
fun of
Mr.
you.
Now Mr. P's about to come out here and punch me in my face, bro.
No doubt.
I'm sorry, Kane. I don't
Yeah.
buy this dude's bullshit. It's bullshit and a
Well, you don't
lie,
have to
bro.
buy nothing. Don't buy anything. Don't buy anything. Just buy the fact you went on King Troll. You said what you said about King Troll. You called us all monkeys. I remember this. I remember this.
Mm.
I said you called stinky. Well,
I
stinky
ain't
leg.
denying what I said, motherfucker. I ain't denying shit. You're talking to an actual real racist motherfucker.
I'm
Not some
a real.
punk-ass
I'm not a
motherfucker
real racist.
playing a racist
I'm
on
not a real
YouTube.
racist. But yeah, you're the real racist though. You're the real racist. You're the real fucking fool, Rick Rude. You're the real fucking.
y'all's getting a little close to the toss violations and all that shit. So
Oh,
let's
yeah,
just back it
cause
up.
I-
for this.
Yo,
Take-
Kane, because
Eric, take it-
yo,
Eric,
I was
Eric,
waiting.
take
I
it
was
down.
waiting.
Take it down.
No, cause but Kane though. But Kane,
Yeah.
listen. This guy right here, right? They were putting Ruru.
No, I didn't say you
Rude.
shouldn't. I just acknowledged that you
That-
did it.
I hate calling her Rue with the twice. That's why Joe said Rue times 2 because she was making fucking
Yeah.
white people bark like dogs. That's why she named her name the way it was. He's the most racist piece of shit, no-legged motherfucker. Ugh, he's disgusting. That's why fucking Mustafa kicked your ass. That's why fucking who else you wrestled? Oh, you stick your finger up AC's butt.
Mustafa.
That's probably why AC is the way he is because of what you did to him. AC is a homosexual who wanted to see Mike Cerrone's dick because of Rick Crew.
Yo,
Yo, what's up,
yo,
Cheesehead?
yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
nobody-
How you doing?
All right, so listen, Kane, listen. This racist piece of garbage,
I'm a
Eric,
racist. You're the racist.
bro. This
father
dude,
is
this dude tried doxing. Listen, Kane. Listen, he tried doxing. He tried doxing my job, and he's mad that I
How
did
did
it back to
that's
him.
your job?
Bro,
That's
quit
your
lying.
real
I
job,
got the
you bitch.
screenshot.
Is that
I
your
got the
job?
screenshot,
Hold on.
loser.
Listen, crybaby bitch. Is
You the
that your job?
crybaby? Listen to
Do you work
you.
at Do you work at
Bro,
Tyler
you've
Chicken
been up here
Farm?
talking about
Do
me
you work
all
there?
night.
Do you work there? Do you work there? You
Dude, it
fucking
doesn't
tried to
matter.
bully.
It
You
doesn't
tried
matter.
to bully. You tried to bully Mike, and I bullied you back, you bitch.
Oh, you ain't
You
bully
tried to
shit,
bully Mike.
pussy. That's why you
Listen,
blocked me.
I'm
You
the pussy.
coward.
You're that nigga.
So,
You
You that
coward.
nigga in the cell.
You,
so there
bro,
you
look
go.
at
That
show
show I
proof,
can't
Part of the show
pussy.
brought to you
Mama
by
cheese. You're a
Live
bitch.
Coke Delicious
You're a bitch. You're a
Coca-Cola.
clown. Your whole show is a clown.
Your
Everybody's
mom's a
getting
clown,
tired.
bitch.
Yo,
Your
do
mom's
a
a
show.
clown.
Do it. Your mom. What about your mom? Do a show
Like I
without
said,
talking about
bitch.
me, Mike.
Whoa,
Your
whoa,
content-
whoa!
content-
Careful!
like
Don't
I
talk about
said,
people's
show
moms
proof.
here.
Your
Someone will freak
content
out.
sucks. Your dad's a child molester and your content sucks.
Oh,
Eric,
Your
is that why you
content-
watch?
Do it.
Eric, is that why you
Darko
watch
reaching-
every episode?
reaching across to throw a shot straight down. I don't even
Oh,
think
I
it was
watch
received.
because I want to punch white people in the face. So your content sucks. Your content sucks.
You ain't gonna
Your
punch
content
shit. You ain't doing
Oh,
shit.
yeah. You're the guy in the
You
yeah,
ain't
state,
doing
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. Oh, yo, I got the
You a
videos of you and
coward.
Joe. I
You're a
got the videos
bitch.
of you and Joe.
You're
What
a
about the
bitch. Stop
swastika on
wearing
the back of your
makeup.
neck? What about the
Kane,
swastika on the back
Kane,
of your
pull
neck?
that picture up of Eric in makeup.
swastika
Let's
on the back of your
show
neck.
everybody who we're
Mike,
dealing
pull the
with.
picture up. Mike, pull a picture up with the him with the
Eric, why do you wear makeup? Why do you wear
Why do you
makeup?
have a
Well, you're just talking like a Mongoloid.
I don't give a fuck. I am a Mongoloid. In my heart, I'm a Mongoloid. That is what I am. We are a horde. That is what we are. Yes, we are that. We are 100% that.
That's not something to be proud of.
It is something to be proud of, because the Mongols are the ones who created civilization. And you created nothing but barbarism. You're the fucking barbarians. You destroyed the treasures of mankind. The Mongols only united it. What the fuck do you know about civilization? What the fuck do you know about pride? What the fuck do you have to be proud of except looting, genociding, and destroying the cultures and peoples and wealth of this world? What the fuck do you know, Cans Cuck?
Well, you're the one here chimping out, so...
I am chipping out, bitch, because I'm a fucking human being, and you're a little soy boy cuck, little bitch. You don't know who the fuck I am.
No, I see you. I think you're a Mongoloid. That's what you...
I am a Mongoloid, you're right. It is what I am, and I'm proud of being that.
Well, it's an anthropological term. It doesn't actually mean Mongol or
so what's your
Mongol.
fucking point? You ugly, disgusting, fucking ugly, disgusting, fucking barbarian, smelly piece of shit. You want to talk racism? I can be way more racist than you, Angloid. What fucking civilizations did Angloids ever fucking have? It needed the Romans to fuck all of you in your ass to give you any civilization. You never had any of your own. You want to be racist? I could be way more racist. You want to talk shit about Asians?
God.
What the fuck do you have on
Oh,
Asia,
fucking
huh?
classic.
I have nothing on it.
You have nothing, because you're a Cans Cuck, bitch.
Ooh. All right. Maybe we'll stick around for another panel. Maybe we won't. Glenn Lawrence is. Glenn Lawrence.
Warriors, all to the death will go.
IMDb. Dope. Men overcome life. Failure, Glenn addressed everything from social issues, biblical gender roles, red pill, marriage, dating, Christianity. Wow. I hate all of those things. Uh, Make another cistern? What the fuck is this? Good. Okay, that's probably to do with the elixir. Energy to pound materials into dust. Maybe one of those. Need to. This is too cluttered already. Oh, okay. So getting water there. Can't find another cistern. All right. We do have a lot of water. So another furnace. What is do coal to here? I'm sure there's a limit on there somewhere. That can provide and steam there. Oh, only provide one. Okay. Well, switch that back then. Wait, I need stone. Wait, actually. Fuck. Fuck. We need to hang up. do double water. Jesus. We need more water stuff. She's like oh, well that's convenient. So clay is super worth selling. All right, energy into cistern. Um, isn't getting water anymore. God, fuck. Actually, how much do bricks sell for? Water. Okay. Maybe more bricks is the meme. Can't do the furnace stuff. Definitely need all of these later. What? Oh. Oh, is this? Also, how do you make glass? Now we have too much water. Shit. Oh, some steam there. Stop selling clay. Only sell bricks. I guess actually just get there. Merges eventually. Stash the auto sellers over here. Bricks. Actually, we'll do this. And this. That looks kind of cute. aren't running fast enough. Mm, 20. What does you tried eating stone yet? Uh-huh. Wow. $1.7. Christ. Oh, I saw Steam. I guess I don't really need that much more. All right. I can't burn stuff. Check back in. Oh,
So
They're all
Eric,
good.
Burps.
Eric is
They're
trying to
all
make
good
amends.
black people. They're all good.
Never mind. All right. Well,
man.
I don't know.
Sure, man. Nice to meet you. I think that's the first time you ever been up on
Yeah,
the
and what? 'Cause I saw what you said. I saw what you said earlier, right? So I chose violence when
Oh,
when
about
I came up.
that comment I left.
Yeah,
About the
word.
makeup.
Because this guy, all he does is talk about it. Yo, he will make like 10,000 community posts
Let me see. What comment did I leave? I said, never
with the
judge a
makeup
man.
thing, and I think I
I
look
said,
good.
oh yeah.
Yo,
I said, hold up. I said, never judge a man by his makeup.
and then they did one with me and Banana, right? And this is not racist. They are, right? They said who looks better, and they chose Banana.
Yeah.
I thought I looked pretty.
Kane, they take my
Oh, so you
pictures and they
thought
make
you
my
looked pretty?
face
You
so
thought you looked pretty there,
big
huh?
and yeah.
Then Banana, like, what the, you want to make it like that? Yeah, shit. I thought I did, but they're just so like.
They alter your image, Kane. They alter your image, and you look weird. It's funny.
Yeah. See, when
I
I
think
left
I
that
look
comment,
cute. I look
I
cute.
didn't.
have not heard anything.
But this is a guy who
I have
won't show.
not-
Yep. Cringe. This is giving. Let me see here. Oh, how much is 150? How much is this is the life. The autism. So what we need an energy at a time. I guess what happens when you burn steam? Burn? No, I feel like it's not gonna burn. An energy in the item to be heated. Really. Um. Lava Essence, very interesting. We're just dumping shit. The energy purifier. Something to do. Someone to argue with. Feeling it.
having a Hulk smash. Download for Windows. Downloading. It's the same version.
Oh no.